I was trying to explain this TikTok song that, I mean, it's not a TikTok song. It's just, it's a real song, but I know it from TikTok. I'm not a good singer, so forgive me, but would you recognize this? I fall in love just a little more every day to someone new, and to fall in love just. I mean, I'm not on pitch, but
yeah.
So that's what I know from. Okay, well, yeah, that's all we needed to know.
Yeah.
We found out that I'm on a different TikTok wavelength than Kevin, because it's usually that stuff's like played for like animals or something.
I get that song, but it's old people falling.
I fall down and I'm an old person.
I fall
might
down
have hurt
I'm gonna die soon. Well,
that's good.
What's one about? There you go. There you go. All right, go away. This. Go over here. This. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 969. The Glimmet Podcast. Mom Brain, will you tell us about Glimmet, please?
We're going to take it to the Glimmet.
Ooh, push it to the Glimmet.
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 Whoa.
Oh, right in my face.
I'm having allergies.
Please, to be having allergies.
Yeah, everything's like scratchy.
Well, you opened every window in the house.
Yep. Glimmet absorbs nutrients from cave walls. The petals it wears are made of crystallized poison.
From cave walls, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What else would I have said?
I didn't know what you said because you had like booger voice. You were like, cave walls.
I know. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
They're 2 feet tall, 17 pounds, male and female, and the category is ore. Like O-R-E. Or. Abilities include toxic debris, where it scatters poison spikes at the feet. I can't handle listening to myself. I can't even.
All right. Well, you know you're making it worse because you keep adding in other stuff.
It scatters poison spikes at the feet of the opposing team when the Pokemon takes damage from physical moves. Thank goodness for all of you. That is the end of the Pokemon section.
Thanks, Mom Brain. Much appreciated.
Sure thing.
Mom Brain is here. How you doing, Mom Brain?
Mucusy, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Deux is here. How are you doing today?
Ooh.
Nikki Hill is not here. We speak his name.
We speak your name.
Josh Grobot is here.
To grace you with my presence.
Thanks, Josh. Can you jiggle Josh's connection there? Josh, could you speak up?
Ooh, Josh likes it.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
There we go. Better, Josh. You're good now. How you feeling?
Hanging
and banging, baby.
Feeling so great.
Wow. Okay. And George is here. George, how are you doing?
Well, George, no.
What's good? What's life? What have you been up to this week?
Hanging and banging. Feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
That's great, George. Glad to hear it. Let me say hello to.
That's what I sound like.
It was pretty good. There it is. I knew this was coming. Check your phone. Nothing's wrong. Hello, Guy Bones and Intimdo and Nico Darunia and Radical Defect and Blinded by Daylight and Ice Dilbert and RLM and Garantimus and Sneaker Hacks and Drake and Gecko Kitsune and E17 and Burning Cheese. Oh, look at this. Tony De La Mancha. E17 says, I caved and got SmackDown tickets on my way now. So this was last night. I'll probably get to Raw as well. Ooh. They're more expensive than I'd like, but I had a rubbish week, so I thought, why not? And he got a picture of himself in the crowd at SmackDown. That is awesome. E17, I haven't watched SmackDown yet. I usually watch SmackDowns on Mondays because Friday nights I'm playing a game or something. And if I'm on the treadmill, I'm watching something else I got to get caught up on. Saturday and Sunday, I'm not working like I usually do, so I'm not sitting at the computer. But Mondays, I'm back at work as usual, so I put it on the second monitor. So I don't know what happened on SmackDown yet. I've seen a couple things, but looking forward to it. Hope you had an amazing time. We have not been to a live Raw or SmackDown in a very long time, or a premium live event either. We got to change that. I miss it. I haven't been since years before the pandemic happened, but I would like
since
to go.
The Vince years.
Well, that's true. That's a great point. We need to go support the Triple H era instead of the Vince era. Finally, Vince is gone. All right. As you guys already know, it was a big week In the world of Nintendo, there were. Sorry, I'm trying to do. Okay, we're great. There were rumors last month of there being a Nintendo Direct, and those did not pan out as the rumors indicated. But this month, the rumors came back more rumorful than ever, and people were saying there is a Nintendo Direct this week. And Mom Brain will attest to this. When I heard the rumors of the Nintendo Direct again, I was like, no, we got a huge Nintendo Direct next week. I don't want to do another Direct this week. I was like, just let me enjoy this one more week without the craziness. But no is correct. The rumors were true. There was a Nintendo Direct. It was Switch 1 focused. So obviously we'll be covering a lot of that before or for the bulk of today's podcast. Could very well be the swan song for the Switch as far as Nintendo Directs go. Future Directs may have Switch 1 content in them, but I would have to imagine this will be the final Direct that is completely Switch 1 focused. It just makes sense. So we'll find out. But we will talk about that in great detail in a little bit. We have other things to get to first, like something that we wanted to do last week, but Mom Brain was not here. So now we can finally do it. Podcast artiste extraordinaire, Crazy Kernal, sent us a gigantic care package, and he's been waiting for us to tear it open. I know one thing that's in there. I do not know anything else. And
You
it's
haven't
a
opened
very
this?
No, it's been eating me alive, but
Wow.
I have not opened
That's
it.
exciting.
Like I said, I know one thing that you're going to lose your mind over, but everything else I don't know. In very not me fashion, I made sure the box was open before the podcast, so I can
Wow.
just go in there and take stuff out. So
Get in there.
I'm going in. I'm looking.
And this was for no reason other than he's a nice person. I mean, he
No-
already
no
does
reason.
these
I
great
know.
drawings.
I
What the
tell him
heck?
no all the time, and he don't listen. I'm just reaching in blindly. I don't know what I'm taking out, and I have Mom Brain! Mom Brain! It is a giant capybara with a little turtle on the top.
Wow, so
Holy
soft and
moly!
so
Hi, Blood
cute.
Ocean. Hi, SD. Good to see you.
Oh my God.
That is real. I'm gonna say that's soft enough to be pillow worthy.
Oh, that's
Little
great.
mouth. It's got a little tiny mouth. It's so cute.
Really cute.
There you go. Hold it up a little closer for you again. A plush capybara with a turtle pal on the top. Mom Brain, I
Their
know you.
names are Beavis and Butthead.
I know you don't have
Nice.
room for it, but figure out where it goes. All right, reaching it.
God.
Something small. What is this? Oh, what's going on here? Another capybara. I swear I didn't know about this. A little plastic capybara, like a rubber ducky, but it's a rubber capybara. And yeah, that's right. That's right. SD. It's capybara-san.
Oh my God, did they just kiss?
They did.
All right, I'm pulling out something. It doesn't feel capybara related. This is all for you.
Grow your own capybara.
Heartwood Coffee Roaster, Old River Traditional Roast.
Wow.
Old River Traditional Roast is a rotating single origin or blend of what we feel is our best foot forward in the dark roast department. We don't bring it very far into the dark realm, so you won't have to be overwhelmed with burnt or charred flavors. This coffee takes milk and cream very well, takes a pet like no
That's
problem,
pretty good.
and is a good base for flavoring if that's your style. There you go.
I'm a
Rich
big yeah.
chocolate, subtly fruited, balanced acidity.
Sounds good.
I can't smell any.
I'm a big fan of single origin coffee myself. So
Gecko Kitsune, that is amazing. What a way to watch the pod on your Switch in handheld mode. All right, go back in. Oh, got another friend. Another sitting capybara with
Oh, they're friends.
a flower. He's holding a flower.
Oh, do.
They are holding a
Take a
flower.
whiff of that.
oh my.
It's a good one. If you find the little
I swear this
hole
is
in the
not on
back
purpose.
Yeah.
and give it a squeeze.
Now a little rubber ducky capybara holding a fish.
Wow. That's pungent. I like it.
I will be for the next podcast. I will make us
Nice.
coffee with that.
I'm excited.
Oh.
Oh my goodness!
An Aldi fanny pack, and I feel things inside of it.
Wow, that thing's cool.
As
the
you
strap.
know, if you're a longtime podcast listener, we are big fans of Aldi here. So, inside, a crock. Wow,
Gibbet?
It's a. I'm gonna unbox
Capybara
it.
gibbet.
It's a McDonald's
Oh,
crock.
wow, that's cool.
Crock. It's
Crock.
a keychain. McDonald's crock.
Wait, would it fit on the capybara? A Krakibara?
Go ahead.
Maybe in sport mode.
Oh my god, look. It's all crock.
We have a Jenny's ice cream pin.
Oh, we do love Jenny's
We have
ice
Jen-
cream.
We have
That's some cool ice
wait,
cream.
oh my god, what is this? This has to be so old. This is incredible. An Alf Tales figurine from Wendy's in the package.
What?
Says, yo, 6 of me, too good to be
No
true.
way.
Look at this. And it's Little Red Riding
In the
Hood Alf.
package.
Look at
No
that.
way.
That's insane.
Wow. This is incredible.
We have, oh my god, this is I wish we had somebody like right up on the camera. We have
This is
you
incredible.
can't see this, but it's a Yo Noid pin. A little Noid pin. This
I like
is
how Alf
amazing.
is standing on the wolf too. Like,
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
yeah.
My brain.
He's got it all in hand.
A Don't Worry, Be Cappy sticker.
Oh my god.
This is a special sticker because
I
it's
think this one's gonna go on the back of my computer
wrapped in a little bag.
to be seen by all.
Sorry, I'm opening a little bit. Here you go. That man, look at that. It's another capybara sticker. Oh my god. There you go.
She's beautiful, or they have like a matcha tea and a bird on their head.
But that's not all, Mom Brain. There's something. Man, the Noid. I didn't know the Noid was that kind of guy, but good for him. I'm seeing that in the chat, Blood Ocean. One more thing that you're gonna love: a Twin Peaks TV pin, but of the what the hell is it called?
Oh,
Red Room?
wow. That's cool. Cool idea.
Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah,
Mostly,
that's really cool. That's a really cool idea.
Here you go. You hold on to that. Going back in.
We're gonna zip her up. This is a really nice fanny pack.
Mini string lights, clear hello Piper, clear incandescent string lights. I would imagine this is for right in here where we have lights hanging over there.
Ew, we can hang them up.
What is this?
Except I don't really think it's string lights.
Oh,
There's something
This
inside.
is
It's
exciting.
the box for the string
Go
lights.
go ahead. I didn't know.
this is exciting.
Rami, this is clearly for you.
Okay. It is. You son of a bitch. It is a Henry Ford Museum plastic train.
Wow.
You know, Kernal, this was great until just this moment. Isn't that great? A nice train. Well, I pulled this out right before Mom Brain found out there was a secret in there. I'm going to show this to you last, too. Podcast people that are watching, there's what it is. And now do the grand reveal. It's a giant Alpha President pin. Yeah, it's a massive Alpha President
I
pin.
know it originally was made as a joke, but I would.
I take it.
would.
I get my vote.
Absolutely.
Get my vote. We're gonna have to reorganize all this stuff.
We'd
in
have
here.
to
You're gonna
hide
have to redo the
Piper.
table.
We'd have to hide Piper. But other than
Yeah.
that,
Well, you know what? I think she could hold her own.
Another capybara with a rubber ducky on their head.
Oh,
Oh, we're
my
running out of room.
god. I feel like
We're gonna.
I'm
gonna leave it to you.
What?
Between next week's episode and now, a reorganization
Oh,
of
yeah,
the table.
yeah. I think that might require an IKEA trip.
Okay.
yeah, you're gonna need like a shelf
Wow.
here,
Yeah,
something to
yeah.
prop
It's just
George
a-
above that, or
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is I checked this time to see if what was in the box was what on the outside of the box. It's not. Mom Brain, do not open this. I want you to save that for last. That's the thing I knew what it was before it came.
okay.
This is
This is a little too. I mean, it's a lot. It's great. It's amazing. But what's going on here?
Little Gem
Are we
Coffee,
dying and we don't?
yeah.
Ethiopia, and I'm not even gonna try and
Ethiopia
Yurga Chefe.
is my favorite.
I don't,
That's where my
now this I can smell right away.
I love coffee from Ethiopia.
Hi, Backseat Studios. Good to see you. And Trader Joe's crispy peanut butter filled milk chocolate peanuts. Well, I mean, I want to try these right now.
Nice.
Man,
She's real nice.
smells good.
You huffing that?
Who wants a Trader Joe's crispy peanut butter filled milk chocolate peanut?
Yeah, let's try. Why not?
You said no?
I do.
Here.
Yes.
Don't want to be rude.
Ooh, she hefty.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
These are good.
Ooh, not what I expected.
Not really a peanut.
No, I expected it to be crunchier.
The pea is neither a pea or a nut.
That's
The peanut.
delicious.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's really good. I'm having motor skill issues. I can't close that. So sorry. All right, go back in.
The chocolate has gone to your brain.
This is insane.
Wow.
This is so cool.
What?
An amazing Alf figurine. Totally 80s Alf.
Wow.
Him talking on the phone saying, "Let's do lunch" is so stupid.
But that's so
I love
Alf. Let's
it,
do lunch.
It really is.
The
Right?
ultimate action figure. Look at
Mm,
that.
That's incredible.
I want that shirt that Alf is wearing so bad.
It just says
Says
no problem.
Alf, no problem.
Oh, man. He defined
He's
the
right, though.
80s. God.
How did he?
There was nothing to worry about. We had Alf talking on the phone, doing lunch,
This
and
this-
like there was no problem. You
this
read
is
his shirt.
incredible.
Oh my god.
And moon pie sign,
That's pretty classy. That's like
metal sign.
That's beautiful.
Here you go. Okay.
well,
Wow.
this covers like every birthday and Christmas and
Moon pie socks. Holy crap. And now, old me would be like, these are great, but I don't wear socks. Now I wear socks all the time. I'm a normal, kind of
I
normal
wear socks all
person.
the time.
Yeah, it'd be like an alien pretending that they're a real person. Don't you dare cover me.
Oh, I wouldn't, George. I wouldn't. I just don't know here for now.
Okay, I
I
think
would
that's
order.
it for that box. Now, Mom Brain, you have the. Oh, thank you. Oh, I could put some of this back in the box for now. You're holding on to that?
You don't put
Okay,
Beavis
fine.
and Butthead
They-
back in a box.
they don't go
All right,
in the
Mom
box
Brain
ever
has the
again.
final item, which is the one thing I've been privy to. Mom Brain, go right ahead. She's opening the box. She's looking in. She's blown away. She's
No way. No way. Who took up felting?
Who did it come from?
Kernal is.
Wow.
I know.
What?
Jason.
No way.
That is a felted
That's
RMC
amazing. What?
Oh, I almost just spilled all that.
That's amazing.
and a felted Mom Brain
Laughing
with
hysterically.
Comanche in my pocket. And I don't have to bear the scary.
That's amazing.
How crazy awesome is that? He was showing me it as like throughout the process.
With like a little button.
Let me
Man, that's
see.
amazing.
She's mimicking what the felt doll looks like right now.
Kernal.
Bravo.
Let me. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. There we go. Thank you, Kernal. Thank you, Kernal.
Kernal, I just can't help but feel like we are thoroughly undeserving of this kind of love.
Well, again, I try and tell him all the time, don't do this. Hi, Tall Show. That's enough. That Tall Show. Yeah, I tell him don't do that. Like he's up extra late drawing the artwork, and I tell him just go to bed. It's fine. I'll take it whenever you want to do it, and all this extra stuff. And he says, podcast. Podcast has done a lot for him in whatever regards, but we're not worthy of all this, and this is way too much. And now, Mom Brain, it is our it's our time to put together a care package for him. and I believe we could do something extra special because you're usually good at that stuff. I'll think of a couple of things, but we have to do something.
Could felt him something out of Piper's
Piper
hair.
hair. Yeah, that would be beautiful. So thank you, Crazy Kernal. That's way too generous and way too nice. And now that I'm a coffee drinker, maybe I'll try some of that coffee too.
Ooh, you'll be bouncing off the walls.
Oh, that's right. I'll probably be like, I'm dying. But you know, Kernal sent it.
Know how
I'm willing to die
it's
for
good
it.
coffee? When they put the date it was roasted on the bottom. So
Oh.
you know how long it's been around as opposed to like a Best Buy. Yeah.
They don't do that at Dunkin'.
I don't think so.
And the sooner after it's been roasted, the better,
Yeah,
theoretically.
generally, yeah. You want to consume it fairly quickly,
It's very nice
which
of
is
you to
never
say.
a problem around here.
Radical defect. Thank you. Yeah. You know, this is all wonderful and lovely and beautiful and amazing. But yeah, we do what we do because, well, I'm a dork and I like doing it. But we enjoy being here every week and talking about this stuff and talking about you guys and reaching out and all that. So thank you for all the incredible support over the years and all the amazing things you've sent our way and just the conversations we've had and all that. And obviously, Kernal is one of many I've met throughout the years, but Kernal's an extra special one, without a doubt. His dedication to the podcast and his appreciation for whatever stupid crap I'm doing is insane. And he's an unbelievably talented person. And you know, we've talked, I'm not going to get into details, but we talk outside of that, just, you know, as friends would. And we both feel similarly about the world. So it's nice to have other people out there you can just, you know, talk to and feel a little bit normal about. So I appreciate that friendship and everything else he does. He's way too nice and unbelievably grossly talented. So thank you again, Kernal. Very much appreciated. And go support. I wish I should have said this to Kernal. I wish there was something where I could be like, tell me where I can point people to for you, or what you would like me to draw attention to. So Kernal, next week, we'll figure that out. You tell me something, I'll send people that way. But that's that. So thank you, Kernal. That was great.
And
I
thank you
want
for
to eat all those peanuts.
now making the mission to reorganize the podcast room.
That's going to be a tough challenge. There's a lot of stuff
We
here.
got a lot of trinkets here.
Yep. My trinkets.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Patreon topics, and then we'll get into the Nintendo Direct recap. Mom Brain,
Yes.
did you know that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Many people have, and we're having a nice time over there. Here's what we talked about this week. I shared the trailer for an upcoming anime. I think it's coming out in July. It's called The Summer Hikaru Died. I showed it to you, Mom Brain.
Mhm.
It looks to me like it's going to be something extra special.
I
It
just
looks...
watched the trailer for that on Netflix yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was searching
Wow.
for something to watch, and I was searching for horror stuff. Not that I don't know if it's a horror, but like
yeah, it seems like
that was one of the things. And I was like, I don't know why, but the title intrigues me. So I watched I clicked on it, and of course, it was one of those things where it's like coming soon, and it's
Yeah.
like, dang you, Netflix.
Yeah, and I would argue, you know, I guess July soon, but not soon enough. Yeah, I was gonna read that manga, and when we went out to a few places to find it, they had volumes, but they didn't have the first. Nobody had the first, and I went online to try and get it, and it wasn't there either. I was like, so I never got around to reading it, and I didn't even know they were doing a anime adaptation, but they are, and that trailer came out on Netflix. So yeah, like you said, it's certainly some horror-esque element to it. Some guy's friend disappears and then comes back, but something's really wrong with the I don't know if he's a monster or an alien or some kind of demon that's taken over or something, but go watch the trailer. The Summer Hikaru Died. It's going to be on Netflix, as Deux said. Comes out
Yeah,
July.
there was something about the title. Yeah, as you know, I'm big into titles, so normally I'll write something off by the title, which they say you should judge a book by its cover. I believe that's the old adage, but yeah, I heard that title and I was like, who's Hikaru and why did he die? And
as far as anime goes, it's a pretty normal title. Yeah.
yeah.
Very very true. You know, lots of anime titles are like, I fought off 100,000 demons and then I fell in love with one of them, or something like that. And that's not a joke. They're usually that long. But yes, The Summer Hikaru Died is a very normal title. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Very excited. The trailer looks awesome. It looks weird and uncomfortable and strange, and I love that kind of stuff. I also talked about gaming art. This is funny because now we got a whole bunch of more gaming related art here and Alf art. I was talking
art
to
too.
Pee-Pee. Pee-Pee. I was talking to people about
Pee.
I'm going to be talking about that later. I was talking to people about gaming artwork. Like, what game art do you have in your house? Because obviously, you know, here in a podcast room we have it, but we have game art throughout the house. I have Starworks artwork hanging up in my office, and those like exploded or disassembled Game Boys and stuff like that in those frames. And my basement is filled with game art. We have some game related stuff in the living room. Like, there's game artwork all over the place. And I was wondering what other people had, and they were sharing their pieces of art in the comments, and people got some really awesome stuff. But it's everybody had the same thing in common. They at least had some kind of game related art throughout their house somewhere. It wasn't just in the game room. Most everybody had something else somewhere in their house. Have fun swimming, Blood Ocean. Man, it's definitely, that's a great shirt too, the Goonies shirt.
I just took one of those chewable Claritin.
They're bad, yeah.
That's
Tastes
real
like
bad.
a fart, right?
That's real bad.
So I was talking to people about that and what they have, and like I said, people have some really cool stuff. Do you have some gaming art in your house, correct?
You know, I was trying to think of what I have. I'm pretty sure I've only got like film art, like those displate kind of things. I'm sure you've heard of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got like stuff like that, but I don't have.
Hi,
I was trying to
Afternoons.
think of what gaming art I have.
I thought you had something, but I couldn't like recall specifically. What it
Yeah,
was.
I mean, I don't really have gaming art. That I can think of. Like, I've got some special edition gaming items that are like displayed, but it's not artwork. You know, it's like a special controller or something like that along those lines. Yeah, I can't think of anything, which is a shame actually. But I guess life imitates art. I just play the games.
I also talked about. I reached out to people to see who was a Lorcana fan in Patreon, because I talked a little bit about playing card games in general. I would like to play card games. I just, never really. The only one I really got into to some degree was Yu-Gi-Oh! Decades ago, and I was playing with friends, but I don't hang out with those friends anymore, and my Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck is long gone. So outside of that, I played like Hearthstone, and I played Marvel Snap, but those are digital. But I had a friend reach out, and they were like, they got in touch with me because they figured if anybody was going to play a card game, it would have been me. And they talked about Lorcana, and I said, no, I haven't played. But funnily enough, I was talking to Mom Brain recently about how I want to get into Lorcana. So it was serendipitous that they reached out to me. And I've been reading into Lorcana, and I want to give it a shot because, I have so much free time to do these things. But still, I want to try. And we were at Costco, and it was a sign because Costco had a starter pack for like $28 or something. And I sent the picture to my friend, and he's like, oh, let me see if this is worth it. And he's like, actually, that's a really good deal. So I think tomorrow we're going to go back, and I'm going to pick up Lorcana starter set that they have and start getting into it. So I was looking for people on Patreon who also are Lorcana fans, and there were a few who left comments and someone who reached out with a big breakdown of how it works and everything. So that was awesome. That was great. If there's any Lorcana fans here in the Discord, feel free to send me a message and let me know what you think of it, and how much time you put into it, if it's an expensive hobby for you, if it's a tough game to get into, all that stuff.
I thought of one piece of video game art that I have. I have a magnet from BioShock Infinite that it's like one of those advertisements you see in the beach level, and it says "Strength through Leisure," and
Yes.
there's like a little eagle drawing, and it looks very like 1940s kind of.
I'm pretty sure I recall seeing it.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's not official. I had it made by what's it called? That photo Flickr, not Flickr.
Yeah,
photo. There's something.
come on.
I do it all the time.
No,
Darn it!
it's an old website.
I have a Columbo blanket that I made. With it. I forget.
Of course.
I can't believe I can't Shutterfly.
Shutterfly.
Yeah, I
that's
do
it.
all my unlicensed. What's great is you can do anything through Shutterfly. They don't care. They don't look at any of the licenses. Yeah, like
I don't know how that stuff works.
I don't know how they get away with it because once years ago I tried to get a T-shirt made with Murdoch from the TV show MacGyver on it. And like this wasn't when MacGyver was still airing. This is like long past. And I just put in I made a shirt with his face on it and I sent it to get made. And immediately they got back to me with an email and they were like, do you own this image? Because our sources show that it's owned by Paramount of whatever. And I was like, of Murdoch, like this stupid shirt. And so I just went down the street and had them do it at this T-shirt shop. And it was great. But it's funny that this mom and pop T-shirt place online wouldn't do it, and they called me out. But Shutterfly, it's oh yeah, we'll do whatever you want. Columbo on a blanket, you got it. One more question. No more questions because we're just gonna make it.
We're just gonna assume that Paramount and you have the rights to use this Murdoch image.
Meanwhile, Michael DeBar's people he sent letters from his attorneys out to me. That's not funny, but
does he have people? Maybe back in the day he had people.
He might. I don't know. He's Michael DeBars. He sounds like he's royalty. He's probably an English lord.
To some people. I also talk about areas in games that really try your patience for one reason or another. I will talk more about it later, but in Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, which is my first time playing Dragon Quest III, I got to a place called Maw of the Necrogond. And it wasn't extremely difficult, but it was really big. And each floor that I went through was bigger than the last. And I am someone in RPGs who is I don't want to be underleveled. And I also want to explore everything. So I want to make sure I really go through these areas and see everything that they have to offer and find all the hidden treasures. And that play style married with how big this place was really grating on me. It was really getting on my nerves because, again, it's not like it was incredibly difficult, but you're in these dungeons for so long, you're eventually going to run out of ways to heal yourself and magic points and all this stuff. And you have to leave the dungeon to go rest up and then go back, but you can't just teleport back to where you were. You have to work your way through the floors again. And sure, I've already done floor 1 and floor 2, so I could just go to floor 3, but I still have to get there. I may know the path to take, but I still have to get there, and you fight things along the way. And in Dragon Quest, depending on the batch of enemies you could get a series of enemies that really kick your ass, and you're like, son of a bitch, I'm just trying to get to where I was. So it was really bogging me down, and I got to the 5th floor, and I saw the map for it, and I laughed out loud because I was like, what is this game? Really? It was I'll have to bring up a picture of the map of the 5th floor to show you because it was ridiculous. It's not a maze because you can see the whole map, but if you want to explore everything that's there, you're going to be there a really long time. So I talked about
after going through 4 levels.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't save or whatever.
You can't save. The 4th floor is the only one that had a place to heal up, which is great. But still, you got to get all the way to the 4th floor, and then floor 5 is very big. So it was a pain in the butt.
You know what it sounds like you need, my friend? A traditional save.
I mean, saving in that game is pretty good, but yeah, I'm just doing go back to the town and save kind of thing. So I was talking to you guys about other areas you felt or you've experienced in games that really tried your patience. So hopefully any dungeon I come up to next in a game doesn't make me think of this place, but I was very happy it was over. Sorry, taking a drink. I also talked about the very unique video that Marvel did this week for Avengers Doomsday. So we've known about Avengers Doomsday for a long time now. It was really brought to light when they said that Robert Downey Jr. was going to play Dr. Doom, which got him a lot of attention and headlines, and people are still trying to figure out how that's going to work. There's plenty of theories out there, and a lot of them make a lot of sense, and blah, blah, blah. But this week, they did a live stream for Avengers Doomsday because it's officially in production, and the live stream was over 5 hours long, and it just showed chairs, like the cast, when you're on a movie set, there's chairs and the chairs on the back of them say the actors' names. That's all that this was, where they would show a chair and then they would slowly pan over to the next chair, and it was revealing the cast that was going to be part of this movie. So it's a huge cast because it's an Avengers movie. And it has like old Avengers and new people that are in Marvel movies that may end up being part of the Avengers or helping out with the Avengers. And then they showed, I don't want to spoil if you're trying to keep all this secret. They showed actors from previous Marvel related movies that are returning to reprise roles. Like it was awesome. And then at the end of this 5-hour live stream, they showed, they put out like a trailer, like a minute and a half version that goes through everybody's chair. And then in the last chair, all these chairs are empty. The last chair was Robert Downey Jr. and he was actually there for it. And he does a little shtick and then whatever. And then they say Avengers Doomsday Now in production. I was super pumped. I had the live stream on the second monitor as I was working because, what else am I doing? It was just exciting to see what chair came next and who was going to be in it. And there's plenty of surprises in there and lots of people I was really happy to see. So it was a fun thing and I got them a lot of attention, and it seems like people are really pumped for the cast of people that are going to be in this movie. Now, who knows? We know Robert Downey Jr. is in it, but he's playing Dr. Doom. So we've seen other actors in this movie, but maybe they won't be playing who they think we're going to be playing. I'm sure most of them will be, but it doesn't mean everybody. There's a few names where I was like, how are these people going to be in this movie? What's going on here? But again, no spoilers. So really excited about that.
Are they gonna make him? I mean, we don't know, but like, is the speculation that he's gonna be a Tony Stark that becomes a Doctor Doom, or is he just playing a totally different character and he just happens to look exactly like the Tony Stark?
No, it won't be that. Like, from my understanding, there is a comic series where Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom. So this would be that. I'd imagine that universe where that happens, and that's a whole thing. But actually, I saw a TikTok where this girl was talking about, it was really fascinating to me. She was talking about a potential theory for what's going on here. And she was talking about like all these reasons why Tony was very aware in the Infinity War and Endgame that there was a very good chance he wasn't going to make it back from this. And also Doctor Strange was telling him like you're the one, basically, the one and all the stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she was talking about how like Tony knowing all this stuff and how smart Tony is and all the things he figures out, it would seem very unlikely that Tony wouldn't have some sort of failsafe in place should something like this happens. And she extrapolates on that. Blah, blah. It was just a really interesting idea. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how much it's going to tie into comics that are out there. I haven't read every comic, obviously. So there's a lot, So there's a lot of stuff I don't know, but I'm just very pumped. Speaking of comics, without too much spoilers, you're up to date with Daredevil.
I sure am.
I'm not going to spoil directly. I just want to, Mom Brain doesn't know, but you do know. The most recent episode of Daredevil is like basically a rough take on the comic series that we read, in particular with what happens with Fisk and the millionaires and all that stuff. It was like, played it. I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is kind of like that comic we read. So they didn't do it exactly the same, but it's definitely lends into it. And man, I liked that episode. That episode was really good.
Yeah, I think that villain is really intriguing, is really cool, creepy, like a gimmick to them. I don't want to call it a gimmick, but for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
So there was a scene, and I'm not going to give specifics. It was not a sex scene. However, it reminded me.
That's awesome, Joe Shabadoo. Also, hello.
Of the episode of Hannibal where everyone's having sex at the same time.
Yes.
But with different people.
Yes.
There was a scene in the latest episode of Daredevil that kind of reminded me of that.
Was it at the end of the episode?
Yes.
Okay, then I understand what you're saying. Yes, very different, but I can understand the similar story beats. So there's that. I talked about Marvel stuff. I also talked about a game that was announced at the Nintendo Direct, so I'll skip that. And then finally, I talked about I can't believe it, The Critic. Al Jean, who's a co-creator of The Simpsons And the lead creator on The Critic was a cartoon in the 90s that was a little bit more adult than The Simpsons. It was worked on by a lot of the people that were on The Simpsons. It was about a movie critic named Jay Sherman who thought everything was bad. He was voiced by John Lovitz, but it was very similar to Simpsons style humor. Oh, I absolutely loved this show, and it still influences my humor to this day. You're welcome.
The fan is blowing through.
Sorry. And it like I've always thought that show deserved another chance, and it was on ABC for one season, and then it got canceled. And Fox picked it up. So I was like, Fox is a much better home for this show. And then it got canceled from Fox because the guy who was at Fox at the time really wasn't a fan of animation in general. So he tried to get that deal nixed as soon as he possibly could. He's the same reason why Futurama got canceled the first time. He's the same reason why Futurama was on different nights all the time. He's the same reason why King of the Hill got canceled, even though the ratings were still good. Same
Family
piece of
Guy
crap.
too, right?
He's the same guy that did it to Family Guy. Yeah, that guy was there all throughout that stuff. So
that's crazy.
Killed me because that happened, and I didn't feel like it really got a fair shake to find its audience. And also, I love Futurama. Don't get me wrong, but how can Futurama come back, 4 separate times, and the critic can't get like a real chance at another comeback? So for years, I've been like, oh man, bring back the critic, damn it. And yes, I watched the 10 animated shorts that were on the internet long before like anybody was doing that kind of thing. But just this week, Al Jean on Twitter was like, you guys want the critic to come back? If you want the critic to come back, let me know. And at the same time, John Lovitz was like, guys, you tell me all the time you miss the critic and you want the critic to come back. I want to do it. Let's make it happen. He's like, if you're a fan of the critic, show some love on social media and we'll let people know like there are fans out there who want this. So clearly Gene and Lovitz talked to each other beforehand and were like, let's really see if we can get something going with the critics. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it seems like they're really trying to make something happen because they don't just randomly, both of them are like, let's just tweet something out. Obviously they've been talking about it. So they're trying to get the ball rolling in some way. So I'm really excited because I really want that show to come back. So, and I saw like Deadline did an article about it and some other Hollywood website did an article about it. So the news is getting out there. 100% that show deserves a chance of coming back, especially now with all the movies that are out and all like the streaming services and everything. There's no doubt Jay would now be reviewing streaming shows and movies too. So
a lot of funny things.
So many great storylines there that could be done. And also the show wasn't just about him lampooning or him reviewing stuff. It had its own storylines too. And I really liked that because more than The Simpsons, The Critic had a loose but connected storyline from episode to episode, like Jay's relationships with his partners and his son and his ex-wife and his relationship with his boss and his makeup lady. Yeah. His parents,
his dad,
yes.
Especially Duke and his dad and the Australian guy. I hope all those voice actors are still around.
Most of them are still doing stuff. On Deadline, I read an article on Deadline about them talking about bringing the critic back, and there were comments on it. I was like, good comments. People want the show, and they were all positive. It was all people saying bring the show back. And the first comment was somebody saying, yes, it's about time for some more country goodness and green penis. Like, see, there's other people out there that are still quoting the show. Yeah. But what's that name? What's that guy's name? Maurice LaMarche. He's still voice acting all over the place. The voice of Brain.
He's great.
He was a part of the critic. He did multiple voices for the critic, but little like bit voices here and there. He's still out there. Obviously, Lovitz is alive and well. Trying to think of the names of the other voice actors. But yes, the show has been gone for decades, but those people were younger when they were doing this. So they're still alive, most of them. So fingers and toes crossed. If you've never watched The Critic, I don't even know what streaming service it's on. It's got to be on something. But if you're a fan of The Simpsons or adult cartoons, and I don't mean sex or violence, just, more adult nature and joke, not a ton, but certainly more than you would see in The Simpsons, give the show a shot. I have no doubt you will like it. It's exactly the same kind of humor, just I would say more storyline focused than The Simpsons usually is. So I love it. I hope it comes back. I'm excited that that's getting out there. I just hope this isn't another like Beyond Good and Evil 2 situation where it's like, we're doing Beyond Good and Evil 2, and then you wait 2 decades and nothing happens. So who knows? All right. That's that. let's get to this Nintendo Direct. As I said, there were rumors of a Direct. Those rumors turned out to be true, and now we will recap what went down in the Direct. Dude, did you watch the Direct?
No, I did not. I snooped on your website and just and read like the bullet points, and I watched the Metroid trail, or like the footage that they had for Metroid.
Yeah. First, like real. Well, we had gameplay last time with the reveal, but first, like real good look at gameplay. Thank you to Quince and Nintendo Jam for helping out covering the Direct. It was 30 plus minutes of Switch stuff. Quince will be helping out with the Switch 2 Direct this week, so thank you for that. It's gonna be a nightmare, but anyway, here's what happened in this Switch 1 Nintendo Direct. It's not just games that were announced. For example, something was announced that is not game related at all, and none other than Shigeru Miyamoto was there to share the news. Nintendo announced and launched on the same day, so a shadow drop of Nintendo Today. Nintendo Today is a brand new app that delivers Nintendo content to your smartphone. Nintendo says it's like a daily calendar that delivers a variety of content, including latest news, videos, and comics of your favorite Nintendo games and characters from select franchises. It says after the Nintendo Direct presentation on April 2nd for Switch 2, you'll also find information about the Switch 2 directly on the app. So there you go. Get the app. Basically, this is Nintendo's way of, they're not saying it, but this is why they're doing it. They're like, we don't want to do Twitter anymore, so let's make our own app. So it's basically like, if your social media was only Nintendo related, which is great. So I got the app right away. I got my notifications set up. It's a free app. It's free.
It's free.
Says anyone with a Nintendo account and compatible smart device can use the free app. So there you go. You log in and you get your Nintendo news. I didn't even look at it today, but I don't think anything big happened today. Let's see. It's got a nice little animation when you open up animations for different days. What do we got here? We got a Bowser's Doom ship attacks.
Is this app gonna put GoNintendo out of business?
No,
Because it's just gonna cover all the Nintendo stuff.
listen. I know Nintendo better than Nintendo knows Nintendo.
Got it.
And Nintendo usually only focuses on first-party stuff. They will do third-party, but no, I'm not worried. Not in the slightest. What did I got today? Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. Yeah, I talked about that days ago.
Does this mean we're not taking any rumors from anywhere unless it comes from this app?
No, because Nintendo's no
You think Nintendo has spiders and flies? I doubt it.
for themselves.
I don't know.
No. Yeah. Listen. You're not. This isn't me like worried about. I'm not worried about GoNintendo at all. This app is not going to give you anywhere near the amount of news or information you want Nintendo-wise. It's just a nice place to get official Nintendo. It's a fact. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Will you get things there first? Yes, because Nintendo will announce things there, just like they would through a press release or through a YouTube video or through social media like that. Yeah, there are things Nintendo does that way. Just this week, they used it for something. And then, 2 seconds later, it's everywhere else. So, yeah, if you're a Nintendo fan, you want it 100%, but you're not going to get the Nintendo fix you would get from like websites or YouTube channels or social media in general. But any self-respecting Nintendo fan would get this right away. That's why I have it. So you can get it. It's free. There you go. They also talked more about Pokemon Legends ZA, and we finally got an explanation as to why it's called Pokemon Legends ZA. At night, highly skilled trainers are invited to participate in the ZA Royale tournament. Just enter a battle zone to begin your climb from rank Z all the way up to rank A.
Very cool.
So now we know why it's called that. Still no date for that other than late 2025. As Deux was saying, we got another look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This is where Samus has been unexpectedly transported to planet Vuros.
I'm sorry. Did we know that Beyond was the? We did. Okay.
They announced Beyond last time.
It's fine.
Oh, not a fan?
No, I got nothing against it. I said it's fine.
Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Metroid fine.
Metroid Fine 4. As Samus explores the planet for answers, she's granted psychic abilities, mysterious and ancient powers that allow her to control the trajectory of her beams, operate mechanisms and doors, Why were these powers bestowed upon Samus? And what will her fate be? The threads intertwining beyond space and time will weave a new tale. And Metroid Prime 4 still don't have a date for that one either, but we know it's coming out 2025. Speaking of Marvel news, we got a brand new announcement. Marvel Cosmic Invasion was announced. It features superheroes like Wolverine, Spider-Man, Nova, Captain America, and more in a battle against supervillain Annihilus. This is a 2D arcade-style beat-em-up, and it's made by the people who did the Turtles game, the most recent beat-em-up Turtles game. So perfect crew for
Fate.
that. Is that what it's called? I don't remember because like 3 Turtles games came out in succession.
I thought it was.
I'll believe you. Plus 4 players can assemble for local or online co-op play. So that is awesome. I mean, I'm a Marvel fan. I'm a huge beat 'em up fan. I couldn't ask for anything more. And it's old school, like pixel style beat 'em up. So I'm all about this. Comes to Switch this winter. We got another look at Story Season's Grand Bazaar. This was originally released on the DS. It's getting a revamp for the Switch. Comes out August 27th.
Shredder's Revenge?
Shredder's Revenge sounds right.
Says
yes.
Tall Show.
That is it. Thank you, Tall Show. And prayers were finally answered for millions and millions of 3DS fans. They've been holding prayer circles and wishing this would happen for over 10 years now, and it finally came to be. Tomodachi Life is getting its first sequel. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream.
My God!
The series is back with its first brand new entry in over 10 years. Create your media characters based on yourself, friends, family, anyone. Watch them live their lives on an island out at sea. Get involved with their relationships and experience all weird and wonderful ways these me characters interact. You may even drop in on their dreams.
Which is something.
This is coming out sometime in 2026, but so awesome to see. People are freaking out about this. Like, this has been a big one for people. They really wanted this to get a sequel. I'm a very big fan of Tomodachi Life. I didn't think there was any chance the first one was going to get localized, but it did. And it became a surprise hit for Nintendo outside of Japan. It was popular in Japan, but it really took off here too. To give you a little personal example of how many people love this franchise and how crazy they are about it. My cousin texted me that the game was announced before I had a chance to text them. They jumped on it like right away because they saw on social media the instant it was announced, and they were like, oh my God, they're a huge fan of Tomodachi Life. So the sequel's coming to Switch. That's awesome.
Do you know what's really funny?
Tomodachi Life is very funny. I see that GIF, Roth.
I was playing it a lot when we first moved into this house, which we did, I think, like 9 years ago this week. Which reminds me, today is Drought's birthday.
You're right. You're leaving?
No.
I spent a lot of time in Tomodachi Life and laughed my ass off. The trailer for this one was very funny. People on my TikTok are celebrating the announcement of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream by showing off their craziest videos from the original Tomodachi Life. And I saw one today where somebody had their me, Joe Biden, on stage, and he was singing about how he was pregnant, and everybody was applauding for him. So it's, the whole game is a fever dream, but in the best way possible. So really awesome to see a sequel coming. The Monument Valley series is coming to Switch. I've never played any of these games. Have you?
Yeah.
I was pretty sure you did. Yeah, that's where they were exclusive for a while.
They were cool. I think you'd like them.
I'm sure I would. Yeah. Monument Valley 1 and 2 are coming to Switch, and they have all the additional chapters, add-ons, and DLC. But along with that, Monument Valley 3 is coming to the Switch as well. So Monument Valley 1 and 2, I believe they come in a bundle, and it comes out April 15th, so not far off at all. Tax day. Isn't that exciting? So that's something to look forward to. And then Monument Valley 3 will be this summer on Switch. So yeah, I can finally right a wrong because, as I said, I haven't played those games, but I've heard wonderful things about them. Saga Frontier 2 Remastered was shadow dropped, another game we didn't even know existed. And they were like, hey, this game exists, and it's out today. So you can get it on Switch right now. This is obviously the remastered sequel of the first Saga Frontier game. And that's, I'm an RPG fan now. I want to play that. As you can tell, RPGs take me a really long time. I'm still playing Dragon Quest. And an announcement that made me tear up with excitement. Rhythm Heaven is coming back. It has been, depending on how you count, like I would count the last new installment as Rhythm Heaven Fever, which was on the Wii. So what? That's over 15 years ago. Or if you count the 3DS version, which was Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix, which was like a catch-all for all Rhythm Heaven games. It was like a best of with a few new ones in it. I don't count that as brand new. But that was still over 11 years ago. So it's been a long time. But
Is that true?
Now it is true. Rhythm Heaven is getting a new game, Rhythm Heaven Groove. It's coming to Switch in 2026. Still got all the music from Sunku. I think that's how you say his name. He's the guy that did all the music for the previous Rhythm Heaven games. And it looks like it plays just like the others, and that's all that we want. New rhythm games, new music, and funny animations, and that's exactly what this is. I cannot tell you how happy I was to see this announced. I love Rhythm Heaven so much. It's such a fun game. When games marry music and gameplay together, it just makes me feel some sort of way. It does something to me. And I loved being able to play Rhythm Heaven without even looking at the screen. Once you learn how the music cues work and everything, it just felt so cool to like face away from the screen or close your eyes and play just to the beat of the game. I absolutely loved it. So another one for Switch in 2026. Nintendo announced a new way to share games, the virtual game card. This is a new feature for easily managing purchased digital games, playing games on 2 different systems, and even lending or borrowing games. Similar in concept to moving physical game cards between systems, virtual game cards make it possible to, quote, eject, end quote, a purchased digital title from one Switch system and load it onto another, whether it belongs to a member of the same Nintendo account, family, group, or a second system tied to your account. This optional feature allows you to view virtual game cards or eject them from the system. So basically, it's a way to share or lend or let people borrow your digital copies of games, which is really cool. And if you're a fan of how sharing works now on the Switch, you don't have to worry because that is not going away. These are all optional methods. So it's just another way for this to work. So say you have a family group and one of your friends is like, oh, I'd really like to play that game. You're in the same family group and you're like, oh, well, if we can share it. All you need to do is once you need to physically be in the same spot as that Switch to initiate the share. But outside of that, then you can transfer whatever games you want because then that Switch is registered as part of it. So it's a cool idea because, back in our day, because Dew and I are ancient, we used to borrow games from people all the time. Dew just lent me a game actually now. But like physical, are you upset about that?
No, I meant still got it as in like
we're still doing it. Oh, I thought you meant like I still got it.
Yeah,
okay.
You still got it, you jerk.
I was worried about that.
No, I'm not playing.
It's sitting next to me downstairs, and I look at it. And I'm like,
I don't want to rush you because
okay.
I don't want to because I want you to get to it on your own time because I thought it would. I really loved it, and I think you're gonna like it too. But I don't want to rush you because I know it ain't.
Well, this is time. Just this week. I got back to Dragon Quest, and I'm playing something more normal. So I'm feeling more normal. My plan is finish Dragon Quest and go right to that. Like I don't want anything else in the way. I'd be
interested to see what you think. I mean, it's intense. It'll give you some escape, maybe.
To give you some proof that I'm getting very close to playing it. I watched a recap this week of all the other Alan Wake stuff because I played it, but it's been a long time, so I wanted to
still
recap.
Confusing, I'm sure.
Oh, it was very confusing. Yeah.
I did the same thing, and I was like, I remembered it all, and I was like, I remember that I was confused, just like this.
That's exactly what happened to me. I was like, I remember all of this, but I don't remember like it ever like fully clicking where things were happening. I'd be like, I get what's going on here, but I don't think I'm getting all the pieces of the puzzle. But yeah, I watched a video from GameSpot. They did like a full-on recap of everything, DLC and everything included. So yes, I am getting there.
And the second one is out there, trust me. But
that's
like
my kind of thing.
But I feel like it was easier to follow than the original, in my opinion. But who knows?
Also announced was Tamagotchi Plaza. You might remember there were a whole bunch of Tamagotchi games on the DS and the Wii. I believe there's something on the Switch, but this is a new Tamagotchi game. It's the latest entry in the Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop series, which were very popular. So this is a new one. Engage with over 100 Tamagotchis. You take orders and help with lost items and enhance each shop's reputation. We got our first real good look at Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake. We knew those were coming. We knew 3 was going to be the first game that came out because that's a prequel to the other 2.
Please
so they put out 3 first so you can play them in order. 1 and 2 come after. Those are still coming this year. But like I said, we got our first real good look at them, which
Is
was
that
cool
the
to
one
see.
you're playing, the third one?
I'm playing 3. Yeah, they put out 3 first because chronologically, storyline wise, that's the first one. So 1 and 2 would come after that.
Oh,
So I'm doing it, and I really am enjoying it. Like I'm really liking this game a lot. But I'm like, am I gonna go? Like they take a long time.
yeah. It's like when it's finished, are you gonna want to jump right into the
I
next one? Or do
won't.
you have
Yeah,
to,
I
like,
definitely
give it
won't.
some time, and you
I
don't
won't even want to go. Like I'd go into another RPG. I don't want to go like directly because they are very old school in how they work. So it's tougher. Like I can do it, but it's tougher. It's not like Earthbound. I was totally okay with. Like I never felt like I had to grind, and I never felt like there were challenging fights. Don't get me wrong, but in Dragon Quest, like there are spots where I'm like, I gotta go out and grind, or like these dungeons are really tough. Like I can't. And in Earthbound, I love that you can see the enemies. I love seeing them and being like, okay, you've done it a million times in Earthbound where you like see an enemy and you're like, nope, and you run away.
Have at
and you
least
like
a chance to avoid them if you can.
And in Dragon Quest, it is not like that, and that's okay. I've played games like that before. Obviously, I played Final Fantasy VII back in the day like that. You don't see enemies for the most part.
Yeah,
But
it's I never liked that either. It's and you'd be running. It took a little bit of the fun out of it because, especially in Final Fantasy VII, as an example, I thought all those pre-rendered backgrounds were incredible, and I just wanted to race through them without getting into a random encounter. And you'd be like right about to leave the screen, and it'd be like, and you'd be like, ah.
Happens all the time in Dragon Quest. I'll be like running somewhere, and I'll see the set of stairs to get out, and I'm like, just a few more feet, and you get like right to the edge of the screen. It's like, and I'm like, ah, damn it.
Yeah.
And also, like, especially, I remember it happening with Final Fantasy VII because back then I was afraid of RPGs. I would get into environments where I'm trying to explore them, and then a battle would happen. I'd come out of the battle, and I was like, which way was I coming from? And then another battle happens, and I'm like, you want to start over, but you can't because you're in the middle of it, and you're like, I guess I just have to backtrack now. I don't like it. Annoyed me. Dragon Quest is very good in the sense that I don't know what it was like in the original. This may not have been the case, but in Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, when you enter a floor, you have the map of the floor right away, a 2D top-down map. So I can at least see, okay, I know where everything is. I still want to explore it and need to explore it, but I won't get lost. Like I won't get confused. So that I like. That's very helpful. Rift of the Necro Dancer Cadence is a game we knew was coming to Switch for a while now. It's a rhythm game, and it's awesome. It looks awesome. Like I said, we knew it was coming, and I had been wondering recently, when is this game coming out? It was announced a while ago. Well, it was surprise released that day, so it's out right now. Patapon 1+2 Replay. So there's that game that is a spiritual successor to Patapon, and it's coming to Switch, and I don't remember the name of it. It's got a similar name. But these are the original Patapon games. 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch as a package. They come out July 11th, and this is a pretty big deal because, as some of you might know, these were Sony published games. Sony is more and more dipping their toes into bringing their games to other platforms, I guess I'll say, but it seems like they're more willing with Nintendo than Xbox. We just got a Lego Horizon, and that's PS5 and Switch, and now we got Patapon 1+2 Replay, so Sony is dabbling like Microsoft was.
I guess they just realized that, Nintendo audience is probably more likely to play games like that.
Mm-hmm. I really think that's a smart move on any company's. Like, Nintendo fans will play anything pretty much, more or less. Sure, there's a large group that won't, but Nintendo fans are more accepting of stuff and more willing to try stuff out. And there are, Sony and Microsoft are like, we got these games and they're on our systems, but they're not necessarily going to find the audience that they could. So why not make some scratch and get them out somewhere else? We're going to have more on that. You know what? I'll just go to it right now, which was even more surprising for me. A brand new Everybody's Golf was announced, and that was Sony's bread and butter golf franchise for decades, made by Clap Hands. I loved that franchise. It used to be called Hot Shots Golf. I loved that franchise. I bought every single installment. I really adored that game. R-Type, who's been on the podcast before, another huge fan of that game. We've played so many games of Hot Shots Golf over the years. Why did they
switch the name?
There was a reason for it. I forget what it was. But Hot Shots Golf became Everybody's Golf. But that was always a Sony exclusive franchise. Well, not anymore, because the new Everybody's Golf is coming to Switch, which is crazy. And the name of it is Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. So as they brought the subtitle. Popular golf game series makes its debut on Switch with a variety of characters and courses. The 3-button shot mechanic makes it so anybody can jump in and begin playing. So I don't remember how many Everybody's Golf games, but one of the Everybody's Golf game did away with the classic 3-button input for swinging. I don't know if it was an option in there or they took it out completely, but I know it went in a different direction. And it was fine and it worked, but everybody's like, I just want the click, 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 and you swing the club and that's it. So that's coming back for this version. This looks very much like a classic style Hot Shots Golf experience, which I'm totally down for. I have such wonderful memories of that game, that franchise. Just like I used to turn off the music and just hear the like atmospheric noises, the environment noises on the golf course, and just love those games so much. I really do. I could not be more ecstatic that a brand new one is coming and to Switch. So excited for it. Up to 4 golfers can hit the fairway locally or online, which is exactly what I want. I'm so excited for this game. I love this franchise. So coming to Switch later this year. So there you go. Witchbrook, discover the magic around you in a spellbinding adventure. Start your residency as the newest witch in the bustling seaside city of Mossport. Learn spells at Witchbrook College, craft goods to grow your witch business, and customize your cottage and garden to suit your style. Make friends, find love, and discover a world filled with wonder and charm on the road to graduation and beyond. Plus, up to 4 players can make magic together in online co-op. This comes to Switch holiday season. Another surprise announcement. No sleep for Konami date from AI the Somnium Files. So this would be the 3rd entry in the Somnium Files franchise. And that is what's up? What's up? That's a franchise I always really wanted to play because I'm really into visual novels and I love mysteries and I love anime. So I really wanted to play this, but every time an entry would come up, I didn't have the time to play it for review, so I gave it to somebody else. Now the 3rd one is coming out. Again, surprise announced. I really got to get into this franchise. I've heard wonderful things about it. The first 2 were good enough to warrant a 3rd entry. So I got to find the time for these games. I really want to play them.
Well, with the virtual card, now you can give the code to somebody to review and you can still play it eventually when you get a chance, right?
Excellent point. Yes. That's a great point. As long as I can locally connect with their Switch. Yes?
I like that idea because there have been times where like I've wanted to play a game
we can do that
you
now,
have, and it's like, all right, well, I'll play it on your Switch, but
now you can lend it to me.
You're picky about your Switch. I don't like playing on yours.
You can play anything on mine.
I know, but you're like, oh, I hear you. You're causing drift over there.
Well, I do have a graveyard of broken Joy-Con, and I do want to say, none of mine are in there.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not.
Well, you're playing on
the right. I'm just saying I feel better.
You're playing on the Nitro Plus, and that thing's treating you wonderful.
Oh my God, I love it.
No problems with it. Yeah, there was one disconnect issue one day, but other than that, it's been fine.
But I think that was because the Switch went to sleep, and there's
you're all good. Weird... Yeah, you put in a lot of miles on that thing, and you don't it's fine, right?
Yeah.
You got it sitting next to you right now. As Konami date, a special agent with an AI partner embedded in his left eye, your mission is to track down Iris, an internet idol who has been trapped in a mysterious escape game. Conduct interviews to investigate her whereabouts, dive into a subject's dreams to reveal clues hidden in their psyche, and solve mind-bending puzzles to learn the truth. So down for this. I will get into the franchise at some point. Comes out July 25th. Brand new, like I said, surprise announced. Raidu Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. Now is the time to do this kind of stuff. This is a Shin Megami Tensei game, the original, but it's getting a remastering. So now this franchise is more popular than ever. So there are plenty of people who missed out on the first game that would like to go back to it, and now they can. Remastered a classic game from the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner series. Enhancements over the original, revamped visuals, voice acting, battle system, and more. This comes out June 19th. Konami is continuing their Origins franchise their Origins collections with Gradius Origins. So we've had what? Castlevania. We've had Contra. Is there? Yeah, right. I'm trying to think of what other Origins they've had, but Gradius Origins. So it's all Gradius games. This has 17 versions of 6 arcade classics. Gradius, Salamander, Nikki Hill's favorite, Life Force, Gradius 2, Gradius 3, and Salamander 2. This collection also includes the long-awaited Gradius 3 AM show version and a brand new entry, Salamander 3. So a new installment, which we haven't seen that in forever. It's a shoot 'em up. That was very influential on many other shoot 'em ups back then. It comes out August 7th. Maybe for the Einhander fans out there, you might be interested in
We have a
this.
people sighting in the hallway.
Yes, do?
I remember Life Force on the NES, and back when you were a kid with the NES, you had nothing like. First of all, I'd never seen the box, so I didn't know what it looked like. I just knew the cartridge and the art on it, and I'm looking at the art now. I had to Google it to make sure it was just as cool as I remember. The Life Force box art's so cool.
Yeah.
And like I remember, I can't tell you how many times at a friend's house I popped this game in thinking it was going to be as cool as the box art. And I'm not a shmup. I've never been a shmup guy, really. So like I was always disappointed. And nothing against the game. I'm sure the game is great if I were to give it a real chance. But if we're going by box art, that is some of the best.
That's how you had it. I mean, you were there. You and I in the trenches back in the day where you'd wander into Babbage's or Toys R Us or KB, and you're like, oh, all I got to go on here is the box side. I
Box
don't know what
art
any of these
is. I mean,
a lost art.
it's
Judging a
everything.
book by its cover, you know?
Yeah,
It was all you had at that
Yeah.
point.
it's everything. And back then there were such great ones. I
Yeah.
mean, holy cow. And they could do whatever they wanted. They could put Michael Bain on the cover of Metal Gear and be like, well, we're not going to get sued. Who cares?
It was a time, Wild West for the game industry, where it was like this little niche thing that nobody, adults weren't paying attention to, other than the ones who were making stuff. And they're like, nobody's looking. I can do whatever I want. Look at Earthbound. Put out Earthbound with all those music samples. None of those were cleared or approved or any of that.
It's so great.
Also, we got another look at Shadow Labyrinth. Shadow Labyrinth is the new, I'm going to call it the new Pac-Man game, but it's a Metroidvania that incorporates Pac-Man as a secondary character. Like Pac-Man gameplay and Pac-Man are in it, but this is a Metroidvania, like a more dark adult Metroidvania. If you watch the Secret Level series, that's what this is about. We know the Secret Level the Secret Level short was based on this new game in development, Shadow Labyrinth. 2D action platformer and genre twisting alternate take on the iconic Pac-Man series. I think this looks awesome. I'm really down for this idea. We got a release date. It comes out July 18th. I hope it does well for them. Well, I hope it's a good game and is warranted in its selling well. But I really applaud the idea of taking an iconic character like Pac-Man and trying something wildly different with it, but still offering what Pac-Man players want. Like you still,
That's hard to do right.
yeah, you can still move around as Pac-Man and eat power pellets. Like that is part of the game, but now that's a subset of like a action platformer Metroidvania. I think it's a really cool idea. I think it's a bold swing. It's not like they're going to do this and it's going to ruin the Pac-Man franchise. Like Pac-Man's been around forever. I really like this kind of idea. I applaud them for doing it because it is taking a big swing with a beloved franchise, and I think it's a cool idea to reimagine things and celebrate Pac-Man for what his 40th anniversary.
We haven't seen a reimagining like this since he changed his name from Puckman.
That's right. So I'm down with this. The Eternal Life of Goldman, which is something we knew was already coming. We got another look at it. It's coming out holiday season this year. Got another look at Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. Fantasy Life was on the 3DS. This is a brand new installment from Level 5. Comes out May 21st. We got another look at King of Meat, a game we already knew was coming. It's coming out to Switch this year, is all I said. It's a hack and slash online co-op game for up to 4 players. Another surprise announcement. I would have never expected this to happen. High on Life is coming to the Switch, and it's the Deluxe edition. This is the hit action-adventure comedy title that was exclusive to Xbox for a while. With charismatic talking guns, become the deadliest intergalactic bounty hunter the cosmos has ever seen. This is a native port of the game. This is not a cloud version. They've built this from the ground up for the Switch. So really surprising. This is, the now maligned and shunned, deservedly so, Justin Roiland game. Rick and Morty guy. So
right.
He's no longer associated with the game or anything like that, but the company continues on the game. You didn't play this game, did you?
No, you know what? I did. It was on Game Pass, and I played like the first stage,
Yeah.
and it was, it was cool. I had nothing against it. I just never kind of stuck with it.
Well, now it's getting a native port to Switch, and it comes out May 6th. Really surprising. No
had-
rumors of that or anything.
It had a feel of like the South Park N64 game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not exactly, but there was just something about it that, like, a whimsicalness to it that was kind of fun.
It's not. I know it sold well, and I know it reviewed pretty well. I'm not really one for, like, comedy games are really tough for me, and I know that team can be very funny. It's just I'm not usually looking for a comedic game, but it was always like floating around my mind. And then the Justin Roiland stuff came up, and I was like, nah, forget it. But now that he's completely removed from it all, if they reached out for a review, I would be intrigued to check it out. I don't know that I'd pick it up on my own. Lou's Lagoon. Traverse the lush and vibrant Limbo Archipelago in search of Uncle Lou, who mysteriously disappeared and left you his seaplane delivery service. Explore, harvest resources, and grow your business when Lou's Lagoon comes to Switch this summer. Star Overdrive, which is one we've known about for a while, comes out April 10th, so very close. Explore a massive world on your hoverboard and use your powers to overcome challenges, face multitudes of enemies, solve puzzles, and shape your destiny. And then finally, The Wandering Village. Experience a city-building strategy game set on the back of a giant roaming creature. Build a settlement and form a symbiotic relationship with the Colossus to survive together in this hostile yet vibrant post-apocalyptic world. It comes out July 17th. That's your Nintendo Direct. As I said, probably the last that's all about the Switch. But man, 8+ years in with the Switch, and we're still getting surprises that I didn't see coming. Interesting native ports. Surprises of Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven both returning, which I'm all about. We got a nice look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is set for this year. I can't believe it. I've never seen a Nintendo system perform like this, and I've never seen Nintendo perform like this. And we're really seeing the benefit of them combining their portable and console divisions into one unit now, because we're getting more games for longer than ever, and we see how when they had separate portable and console divisions, they, it kind of hurt them because they had to split up what content was going where. So just having one platform that does it all has really worked out for them. Stormers Corbin says, really happy about getting a new Rhythm Heaven. You and me, my friend, you and me. Do I want to wait till 2026? No. Am I happy that I at least know it's returning? Yes. It's making me want to take the old one out and fire it up again. I love that game so much.
Do you think it's Do you think it'll affect sales of Metroid Prime 4 that it's for the original Switch and not kind of for Switch 2?
You could not have asked a better question.
Yay!
Because I will segue that into something else. As Nintendo fans always do, they are hyper fixated on the company they love, as I am too, but they take it to a level that I am just not capable of because I don't think this way. People, because they love Nintendo, read through the fine print of everything. They'll go to every new Nintendo website and read the fine print to see what Nintendo's hiding down there, because there's always things that Nintendo puts in there for legal reasons, but they don't publicly, that it's public, it's forward facing, but they don't draw attention to it. And they found something, and it directly relates to what you're saying, Deux. On the Virtual Game Cards website, the fine print says compatible systems must be linked to a Nintendo account to use virtual game cards. Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 edition games can only be loaded on a Nintendo Switch 2. So the important thing there is the mention of Nintendo Switch 2 edition games. That would mean we are going to get Switch 1 version. It most likely means we're going to get Switch 2 versions of Switch 1 games. Classics. So Metroid Prime 4 Beyond could be one of those. If you're buying Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and you have a Switch 2, it would indicate you would get a Switch 2 version of the game. What differences and improvements are there? I don't know, but this verbiage is only here to point to there being Switch 2 editions of Switch 1 games. So Rhythm Heaven Groove and Tomodachi Life, whatever it's called. You'll be able to play them on Switch 2 through backwards compatibility, but it appears they will have Switch 2 editions of those games. And by and large, they may not be all that different, but they're meant to be played on Switch 2. So there you go. Sony has done that with PS5 as well. Like, you can play PS4 games on PS5, but Sony will also put out specific PS5 versions of PS4 games. So it's something many people thought would happen, but even though Nintendo hasn't like explained it, they may explain it this coming week. This fine print points to it happening. So, like I said, perfect segue for that. So, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will, if the release timing on Switch 2 is what we expect it to be, it's very likely there will be a Switch 2 edition of that game. And again, I don't know how much, it'll probably run at a better resolution or something. I don't know what other things are going to be in there, but we could find out all this information come this week on April 2nd. What is that, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday is the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, everybody. We're going to learn, guys, right now. We know about Switch 2 and some of the stuff about it, but this time next week, we're going to know so much more. We might know the release date and the price point. We're going to know all about games coming to the system. We're going to know about features that we've been guessing at. Like, we're probably going to see the mouse functionality. We're going to see what that C button does, probably, like all this stuff. So it's going to be a different world.
Next week's podcast will be Switch 2-a-Palooza.
That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. Probably only talk about Switch 2, yeah.
And there was that one Canadian Walmart that like put up
no, it wasn't like a
or...
one Canadian Walmart. It was Walmart Canada, like the entity. Yeah, had their splash page. Just Walmart Canada's website had the splash page for Switch 2 talking about how they would open on April 2nd, but that page got yanked. Then we saw Best Buy say April 9th. So where there's smoke, there's fire. Somewhere in between those two dates, where I would imagine pre-orders are going to go live. So get ready. And rumor is retailers are saying we're very worried because I think this system is going to be popular and we don't know if we're going to have enough pre-orders. They're already worried. So Nintendo was saying they're going to take it, they know people are worried and they're going to take all that into account. They're going to make sure people can get what they want. But retailers are also still saying we're still worried. So hopefully we don't have to worry, but let's be honest. We're all worried.
I'm not worried because I know you and I feel like you'll
I'll
tell me where to go and what to do.
I'm going to voice note you as I'm putting the story together for the site. So yes, you will know, you and our friend Adam will know as soon as I know.
Yeah,
because
I got to get it.
I know we're all very worried about not being able to get a pre-order. So they are coming, but I would imagine every notable retailer will open pre-orders on the same day. So I really, to tell you the absolute truth, I hope April 9th is true and not April 2nd, just because for them to do the direct and be like, boom, pre-orders, that would be nuts. Not from a me covering perspective, just like a rush of people.
Yeah.
If you give April 9th, it gives people a little time to breathe and figure things out and where they want to go and who's going to be offering it and where they can get it from and get money set up to take care of it, all that stuff. So I'm hoping April 9th. I mean, it's only 1 week later. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter in terms of waiting. It's not going to kill you to wait the extra week, but
it might.
It gives you a little breathing room. You're like, okay, now I know like pre-orders are going to open at 9 a.m. I can make sure I'm around then and ready to do it and sitting online and whatever. Just give us a little buffer. That would be great. So we'll find out all that together. What else can we throw in here? The Nintendo Direct this week hit a viewership record for Nintendo on YouTube. Over 1.1 million viewers tuned in live on YouTube to watch the Nintendo Direct. These Directs always get millions of views, but this had 1.1 million watching live on YouTube alone. That is a new record for Nintendo when it comes to Nintendo Directs. And remember, this was just a Switch 1 focused Direct. I'm sure some of those people tuned in thinking Switch 2 was going to be talked about, even though Nintendo multiple times said that wasn't going to be the case. But like I said in the post, I believe this Nintendo Direct will hold that record until next week. And then when the Switch 2 Direct happens, more than 1.1 million are going to tune in live to see it. But enjoy the record for now, Switch. We'll see what happens. Joe Shabadoo says, and I helped. Plenty were kind of down on this one, and it is a very funny one to break the record considering the attention that Rhythm Heaven and Tomodachi got. But I thought it was a solid appetizer before the feast. Yeah, I was talking about this on Patreon too. I went on Reddit and I was reading through threads, and somebody was like, that was the worst Direct I've ever seen. And somebody replied and said, you people are like clockwork. As soon as these Directs end, you jump on whatever social media platform or website to be like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Or like, it's like death taxes and people saying that something is the worst as soon as it happens. They're like, you guys are always here and you're ready to do it. So yeah, by and large, people don't feel that way. It's just the vocal. It's just the vocal people online. I'm not going to name call, but that's what happens. What else we got that's Switch 2 or Switch Direct related? I think we're okay. Yeah, so we yeah, we did that. Yeah, we're gonna end it there. So again, rumors of April 2nd or April 9th for pre-orders on Switch 2. All the Switch stuff is covered. The new games are coming out in 2026. All right, let's just get into the regular flow news. And I'll try and get through this stuff quickly. The Verge is a website that covers gaming and other stuff. And they say Microsoft's going to have some more games lined up for Switch 2 and are coming out this year. According to The Verge's article, they say, quote, they say Xbox will be bringing, quote, a lot more titles on both PS5 and Switch 2 in 2025. Not a huge surprise, but nice to know. We've heard rumblings of Microsoft doing things for Switch 2 and having a very big showing for the system. So you would imagine we'll probably get Indiana Jones as well, and we'll probably get anything that's out on PS5 right now that's Xbox related will probably come our way as well. There's been all the rumors of Halo Collection coming to Switch 2. I do think at some point they're going to do that. I don't think that's crazy. There's rumors of Starfield out there going to other platforms, like all that stuff. So Verge says Xbox stuff on Switch 2 in 2025. Not surprising. We'll at least get Call of Duty. We know that, but they're talking about more traditional Xbox stuff. We'll all find out together. And I bet we find out at least one thing come this Nintendo Direct. Entropy says, of course they are now, as Xbox is going more in the publisher route. And crap, the Direct is already next week. It is. I know, right? We've been, like I said, I've been seeing countdowns since the Direct announced, or since Nintendo announced the next Nintendo Direct. And I was like, oh my God, there's like 50-something days. Are we really going to count this down? And now we're 4 days away. 4 days away. Game Informer has returned. It has risen from the ashes. Game Informer used to be a GameStop magazine. And then GameStop was like, nah, we ain't doing this anymore. Well, believe it or not, Game Informer magazine is coming back. Here's the even crazier part. Every single staff member that was part of Game Informer is returning. Everyone is going to the role that they were in before. Here's what gets even crazier. Yes, this includes a physical magazine. They are bringing back Game Informer magazine along with the website. So everything that you got from Game Informer is returning with the team of people that you got it from. So that's nuts.
So that must have been like a really great experience for all of them to like come back. Like, how long has it been gone?
Few months. Like, I think it was this year.
It was that quick?
I thought it was this year. Maybe I'm crazy.
You know, I'm sure they've all had to like move on and get new jobs. So like now they're like having to quit the new jobs they got to go back.
Who's funding it that they're going to be able to print?
It is some it's like a
eccentric billionaire.
It's like it's not Bitcoin. It's like some blockchain company is doing it, but they are just fans of the brand, and they're like, they made it very clear that they are helping bring the brand back, but they're like, we have no editorial say. We are not directing them to do anything. Like, this is just like, people love Game Informer, want it back. We were in a place to step in and help them. They did. Mm-hmm. So they operate completely separately from that. Now, could that change in the future? Sure. But they made it very clear up front that this company they have no directive from anybody. Now Game Informer is operating under Game Informer's direction rather than GameStop's direction. So before, GameStop would have some say over what happened in the magazine. Now it's just the Game Informer gang doing it. And their website is back. And they were doing reviews in the meantime. So you can go check out 29 new reviews from them. They did their Game of the Year stuff too. So all that's there. And now we're going to get back into the swing of it with Game Informer. So that's awesome to see. Good for all of them. Very happy they all get to go back. It was 8 months ago that this happened. There you go. Oh. And now they're back. King Broly says, I don't see what they bring to the table by coming back. Well, King Broly, other people do. For everyone who didn't read Game Informer, there's others who love them and watched all their YouTube content, so that's why it comes back. We don't need that. Yeah, we'll do this. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Switch game. It's basically for every 2 Switch owners out there, one of them has Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So staggering success, over 75 million copies sold. And we learned from former Nintendo employees, Kit Ellis and Krista Yang, by the way, happy belated birthday, Kit, that Nintendo brought this game over to the Switch as an afterthought. They were saying that Nintendo had no idea it was going to be a juggernaut in terms of sales. And they said at the time it was kind of thought of as an afterthought, because they were like, oh, Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, it sold okay for what the system did, but it was far below what Mario Kart can do. Let's just put it on Switch as another game to have on Switch. We'll throw in some extra bells and whistles, and then, we'll take the franchise forward from there. But instead, it became the best-selling Mario Kart game of all time. So
it's funny that they would
kind
have
of
that
shocked
idea, because the point, the point is nobody owned a Wii U. So like everybody wants to play Mario Kart. They just didn't have a Wii U. And that's why they brought so many games, like so many amazing Wii U games have made it to Switch. And it's strange that they wouldn't even think twice about this. They kind of just threw it. And then when you say like they didn't think twice and they just threw it on there with some bells and whistles, those bells and whistles are pretty huge. They've been updating it. They've got all those.
But yeah,
I guess
but
that's due to the success of
yeah,
it.
you got to think at first that wasn't the case. We had to wait years until that game got DLC, because that's proof of Nintendo thinking it was an afterthought. They were probably thinking like, well, you have to keep all this in mind. They did it as an afterthought because the Switch wasn't out yet and they didn't know what to expect in terms of sales. They were hopeful the system was going to sell well, but then they put it out, and the people that bought it on Wii U also bought it for the most part, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But then it ushered in new fans, and the Switch really took off, and then it just kept being like, no Mario Kart game has ever sold what this one has, not even close. Like, so I understand that being a shock, but doubly a shock where they, it was a game available on another system, and they're like, nobody bought the damn Wii U, and we had this game on it. Why is it such a system seller over here and not on the Wii U? There's obvious reasons for that, but still, I can understand them being shocked that it's done as well as it has. But yes, you would think maybe they'd be like, all right, fresh start. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They put it on Switch and it was a good idea. But yeah, you'd think they'd be a little bit more like interested in it. Zelda says, not sure I believe it was an afterthought. Nintendo has released a Mario Kart in every system since Super Nintendo, so they would have planned to release a Mario Kart and Switch, and during that plan, they settled on re-releasing Mario Kart 8 to expedite getting a Mario Kart game on their hit console. Not anticipating how successful the game would become on Switch, sure, I can believe that. But that the release was an afterthought, I don't buy it. I feel like Kit might not understand what afterthought means. Well, Zelda, you and Kit can have a fight. I don't. Yeah, I'm just telling you what Kit said.
On his birthday and everything.
Birthday's over. Fair game now.
Okay, all right.
It's
fight. Not your birthday anymore.
We did that. All right. You might remember that when the Switch 2 leaks were happening before Nintendo officially revealed the system, there was talk of the Switch 2 having a C button on it, a little button that had the letter C on it, and people are like, what is this? Well, the Switch 2 got announced, and if you go watch that Switch 2 reveal trailer, that button is there, but without the C. And we were like, well, that either means Nintendo's not ready to talk about it, or that things have changed in development. And now we know Nintendo just wasn't ready to talk about it. And now that secret is out by Nintendo blowing up their own spot. On the Nintendo Today app, there's like a mosaic of all these different Switch and Switch 2 related things. It's, just basically saying like, I don't know if it was on the app, actually. I think it was on the Nintendo Today website, or like the splash page telling you about it. But it's like, here's all the things you can learn about on the Nintendo Today app. And it has a picture of the Switch 2. But it's a picture of the Switch 2 we haven't seen before. Because if you zoom in on the picture of the Switch 2 Joy-Con, you see that the C button is there with the C button on it. Ooh. So the C is back. Now we don't know what it does, but the C is confirmed. So everybody was like, oh, the leakers got something wrong. There's no C on that button. Well, it's there. And we've seen stuff like that happen before. The Wii U, when they first revealed the Wii U, there were things that they didn't show that ended up being a part of it later. Because Nintendo wasn't ready. I don't know why Nintendo felt they couldn't show the C on the button on the Joy-Con, but Nintendo works in mysterious ways. But it's out there now, and so clearly this didn't get a pass as many times as Nintendo would have liked, and it slipped by. But it doesn't really matter because on April 2nd, we're going to learn and we're going to see the C button on the Switch too. And I would imagine Nintendo will tell us what it does. I can't imagine they're going to keep that a secret now. I know there's all kinds of rumors out there now about what it does, from it's just another capture button to it lets you stream to it lets you use the original Switch as a screen for the Switch too. I've seen all of it. We didn't report that stuff, but I've seen all of it. We'll find out this week, I would imagine. Aussie McBucket says, nice catch. I feel they have big plans for Switch 2. I'm very excited. I am also very excited. And I also feel like they have big plans.
So I'm in the Nintendo. Sorry to get off track and not listen to what you were just talking about, but I'm in the new Nintendo Today app. And just curious, which theme did you choose?
You know what I chose.
Pikmin?
No, I never even looked at it because I don't care.
Oh, well, it asks you when it comes in. Like it's
whatever
like the first thing
default. Yeah, I don't, whatever.
You're a default?
Whatever it picked at first. I don't
know.
care.
Now, why would you be like that with this app? But I know for a fact that you went through with the Alarmo and you chose Pikmin.
Well, yeah. I mean, if something's hit me with noises, okay,
all right. So
if I
these are
gotta
just
hear it.
themes; they're not noise related.
There might be noise. I don't know. I
How would
haven't.
you know?
I haven't
If you
unmuted the
haven't
app.
tried.
Yeah, but like an alarm clock, its function is to make the noise. So like
It sure is.
like that it serves a purpose. Like the theme on the app doesn't serve a purpose other than like it's just a theme.
You should put it on random. Like there's a random option, so you don't have to choose one. And like these are pretty cool, actually.
The animation I saw the Doom ship. Yeah, I thought that was very cool. I've been looking at those animations each day, and I like them. They are cool animations. I definitely agree. But yeah, I just want to see what the app is like. It's funny that you did it again. This is a perfect segue. You're talking about the app because I'm going into a story about the app. This week, Nintendo gave real reason as to why you should get the app if you're a Nintendo fan, because they used the app to give a release date for the live-action Legend of Zelda movie. They didn't share that anywhere else at first. It was just the Nintendo Today app. The live-action Legend of Zelda movie will be out in theaters March 26th, 2027. That is your date for the film, people. That's also a week after Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is available in theaters. So we're getting a gaming-themed month of movies there. So it's just the date. We know nothing else about this other than Wes Ball is behind it and Avi Arad is, involved with Sony and Nintendo doing it. We don't know actors. We don't know story. We don't know characters. We don't know composers. We don't know anything.
We don't know tone.
We just know it's live action and it's coming out March 26th, 2027.
We don't know if Bagoo's going to be in it. We don't know if Error's going to be in it.
No, that's confirmed.
Okay, Error and Bagoo.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
They made sure our fans knew right off the bat that
Okay.
Error and Bagoo were going to be there because nobody's going to see it if they're not. So
Of course not. Why would you?
Tingle's going to be in it. Stamp Guy's going to be in it, whatever his name was from Echoes of Wisdom. All the ones people want, definitely. The Ukus are going to be in it.
Ukus.
The Redeads are going to be in it because everybody loves them.
Yeah.
Trying to think of all the other weird things from Zelda games. Wart, but specifically from Link's Awakening, he will be in it. There's I know I'm forgetting.
This is going to be a good movie.
Zant's going to be in it. The real weirdo, he's going to be in it. What's his name?
why
Girahim's going to be in it. He's going to be
Girahim.
licking everybody.
Yeah, he was a real licker.
All the weirdos are going to be there. Mallow. Mallow's going to be.
Yeah.
Got to get them all. So yeah, March 26, 2027. And that's all we got. Aussie McBucket says, keep checking the app throughout the day. I see, because I already read what I thought were all of today's items earlier. This is exciting. Yeah, I set up notifications. I hope they notify me of when big things like that are happening. And you know what? Yeah, that's it. We're going to go into new releases now. Mom Brain, if you please. Thank you.
My pleasure.
North American releases this week. What do we got? Care Bears Unlock the Magic.
Yeah, baby.
Alice in Dinerland.
Sounds nice.
New Jersey?
Right? Anime Dance Off Dungeons and Dancers.
More like old Jersey, right? Where are these diners? Where are them?
That's
Where are
Where
'em?
are them? Where are them?
Where are them?
I really like that. That I could see myself using it. Where are them? Damn it! Oh wait, did you see the TikTok where the dad's freaking out about the phrase "How come"?
No.
He's like, how come? What does that mean? Why are we saying how come? He's like, how come? Think about it. So it fits in with that.
I feel like it's probably how did it come to be?
I read about where it came from, and like the old saying also didn't sound great, but it was an explanation of where it came from. Arcade Archives, thank you. Azure Haven, Blue Wednesday, Bubble Ghost remake, Bubble Wizard Saga. Bubble Ghost, by the way, Bubble Ghost I have on DS somewhere. That was a phenomenal game. That was really good. So I hope the Switch remake is good. Bubble Wizard Saga, Colorizing Sunrise.
I'm sorry, are the Bubble Ghost and Bubble Wizard, are they like related at all?
They are not. They are both just fond of bubbles, I guess. It's completely coincidental. Cookie Cutter Overkill Edition, Cozy Hunt, Cozy Land, Croc, Legend of the Gobos. I played Croc back in the day on the PlayStation. I owned that game. It was a 3D platformer for PlayStation in an era when that was all new. And you may know or you may not know, so here's a bit of Nintendo history. The company that made Croc originally went to Nintendo and wanted to do a 3D Yoshi game and demoed it to them as that. And Nintendo was like, nah, we're good. So the company took it and turned it into Croc.
Wow.
There you go. Crazy stuff. So yeah, you can play Croc and imagine it as a Yoshi game because that's what it was.
Interesting.
Striken Part 1.
And they never, to their credit, at least until today, they've never gone that route with Yoshi, right? Like they
Maybe
do
at
their
some
own
point,
thing.
but they did not. It's true.
They were like, well, we'll save that for Kirby.
Yeah, 20 years down the road. Kraken Part 1. Dagger Froggy. Dance Mania. Debug Girl. Destined. Mr. Almost Right. Distant Bloom. Escape Game, The House Under Rain, Fantasy Jigsaw Puzzle, Fight Legends, Mortal Fighting, Fuel Station Simulator, Glad Mort, Happy Hike, Hungry Brain Challenge, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. That's a famous PC game from back in the day. Got re-released on the Switch. Check it out. It's a pretty cool idea. Internet Cafe Manager 2025, Jennifer Wilde, Unlikely Revolutionaries, Kara Fantasy, Kimono Heroes. You might be thinking, didn't Kimono Heroes come out years ago? It did, but the publisher changed, and it was gone for over a year, and now it's back. Jandu Soft is now the publisher. Korean Drone Flying Tour, Muidu, Kumakichi and Nyanzao, Birth Destruction God DX, Little Red Riding Hood, Endless Zoom Tale,
Featuring Elf.
I hope so. Pet and Dog Simulator, Polarity Remastered, Shadow of the Orient, Sniper Scope Realistic Tactical Shooter, Soldado Heist, Space Battle, Space Truck Simulator, Star Leaping Story, Steam Punch, Supermarket Simulator 2024, The Eightfold Path. No, I'm sorry, The Eightfold Path.
That's Buddhist.
Okay, what's the game about it? Buddhism. Piper, no. The run. Boy, that show's getting hot, right? Real sexy. The Running Toaster, Tiny Lands Deluxe Edition. Stuff's going down this episode.
I was thinking for a second of what was hot.
Yeah,
and I know exactly what
it's gonna get hotter this episode. Come on, we know what's happening. We know what they're setting up. Trade 'em up. Trading card game Empire Shop, Twilight Monk, Two-Sided Runner, Unblock Now, Urban Car Driver Simulator City Explorer Challenge, Wheel of Words Crossword, Which Way Up Galaxy Games, Zombie Blocks Pixel Shooter Gun, and finally Zombie Strike Force. Nico Darunia says, Umami release is brought to us by the Super Taster RMC. Wow, thank you, Nico Darunia. I'm honored that you recalled that I'm a Super Taster. Dew, I'm going to spare you as long as it's okay with you, Mom Brain. Would you like to tackle the European releases?
If Stu would like to do them, I don't want to take it.
Do you want to do them?
I got them right here.
All right, then go right ahead. And Josh,
what are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, it's time for the European Switch eShop releases for the week of March 27th, the year of our Lord 2025. This is Dew Michaels filling in for Nikki Hill. Nikki Hill, we speak your name.
Speak your name.
6-in-1 Racing Collection, Alice in Dinerland, Anime Dance Off, Dungeons and Dancers, Arcade Archives Senkyu. Assault Suit Lenos 2 Saturn Tribute. Birdie Up.
Bird up.
Blue Wednesday. Breakout Beyond. Bubble Ghost Remake. Bubble Wizard Saga. Candy Country Sweet Wonder. Care Bears Unlock the Magic. Cat from Hell Cat Simulator.
It's true.
It's pretty good. Colorizing Sunrise. Cooking Cutter Overkill Edition. Cozy Hunt. Cozy Land. Cozy Meadow.
Wow.
Croctopia. Crichton Part 1. Dance Mania. Debug Girl. Desktop Golf. Destined Mr. Almost Right. Distant Bloom. Escape Game The House Under Rain. Fantasy Jigsaw Puzzle. Fight Legends Mortal Fighting. Free Ride. Fuel Station Simulator. Gal Guardians Servants of the Dark.
That's Inti Crates. That's the Metroidvania. Pixelated. If you like, I mean, it's Inti Crates. You know it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah. Gladmort. Hungry Brain Challenge. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Jennifer Wilde, Unlikely Revolutionaries. Kimono Heroes. Korean Drone Flying Tour Muidu. Kumakichi and Nyanzo Birth Destruction God DX.
It's a tough
yes.
one. It's a tough one.
Little Heroine, The Electric Monsters. Masters Tennis. Meow Delivery, Fish Frenzy. Mine Clicker. Pet and Dog Simulator. Picross S. Doraemon and F Characters Edition. Polarity Remastered. Sand Legends. Shadow of the Orient.
Oh, typo.
Shadow of the Orient. Sniper Scope Realistic Tactical Shooter. Star Leaping Story. Steam Punch. The Coma Triple Threat Bundle. The Last Hero Journey to the Unknown. The Running Toaster. Tiny Lands Deluxe Edition. Twilight Monk. Two-Sided Runner. Unblock Now. Which Way Up Galaxy Games. And last but not least, Zombie Strike Force. Nico Darunia says, the Bees brought you some very sweet releases this week, Nikki.
And Nikki wasn't here to enjoy their sweet release. But thank you, Deux, for getting us through that in record time, too.
My pleasure.
And that's your top stories, everybody. Let us move on to Mom Brain and what you've been playing.
Moving on.
Hello Kitty. It's been great. I've been having a blast. It's lovely.
Has it really helped you come into your Hello Kitty era?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're willing to admit you're a Hello Kitty fan.
Yeah, last weekend when I was in the city, we popped into Forever 21 because it's closing, and we had to go to Times Square to get something for you. And they were doing a Hello Kitty collab, so we browsed through all their stuff. Nothing good pom-pom porn. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
That's a lie.
Oh, well.
I'm playing it right now.
Gardenscapes.
There you go.
Homescapes. I'm sorry.
How's it going?
It's fun.
Deux, what have you been playing?
Uku. Animal Crossing New Horizons. It was Fauna's birthday this week, so I gave her a barrette.
Oh,
Pretty cheap, actually, to be honest. She wasn't too impressed, but she was very nice. She sent me a thank you note the next day. And Fortnite, we've been playing pretty well with Fortnite, I'd say.
I agree.
Yeah, we've been doing well, having fun. And yeah, I don't know. Sub-Zero. We call the Sub-Zero gloves karate now. So if you have them, you know karate. Or if there's a bad boy who has the gloves, you would say, be careful. That bad boy knows karate. And I finished SteamWorld Dig 2. I mentioned I was playing that last week. And thank you very much. It's, second time I've beaten it. It's a lot of fun. It's really great. It's actually shorter than I remember. I could keep going because it's fun to explore that world. And it was kind of a bummer because you make it all the way to the end and you save up all your money for like the best gear, and then you don't have the best gear for very long. Because it's like right at the end. But man, what a fun game! Great music. It had kind of like a sad ending that I didn't remember. I don't know if you remember the ending, but it was like really sad. Like something happens at the end that's really sad, and then you get like during the end credits, you get like drawings, like artwork of what's happening in the story, like directly after.
Yeah.
And like it, and you're like, oh, okay, this beautiful artwork will like, show me the happy ending. And then like the ending just kind of gets, I don't want to say sad, it's bittersweet. It's like a good ending, but like there's part of it's like sad. So you're like, oh man, like I got sad twice in a game that I felt almost no emotion because it's kind of just like a fun game. And then at the end, it was like I got sad twice in 5 minutes, and I was like, oh man, that's really sad. But I mean, I know that there's other SteamWorld games that I have yet to play, so I really should play them. But I would love to see a trilogy to this. I mean, the gameplay is so fun. That
hopefully at some point, yeah.
But who knows? And then I was on TikTok this week, and I'd been looking for something new to play, not really looking for anything too heavy. And I don't know, some silly TikTok came up that was talking about
hi, Maddie B.
Road Rash from back in the day. And
hi, Marsboro. I love Road Rash.
And I had Road Rash on the Genesis, and like I loved that game. And I was like, I remembered that a few years ago, it's probably more than a few years ago now, on the Switch, I purchased this game called Road Redemption, and it's basically like a total ripoff of Road Rash. But I was like, you know what? Let me give it I was lukewarm on it when I played it the first time years ago, but it was inexpensive, and I had it, and like, let me just try it out again. So I downloaded that and started messing around in it, and been having fun. It's it's silly. There's not much to it, but it scratches that itch of just like riding a motorcycle through a desert highway and hitting people with a club. Like, it's insane.
Sometimes that's all it takes to be happy.
But there's some cool thing. Like, it's essentially it's almost exactly Road Rash.
I mean, EA's not doing anything with it,
so like, and I'm not upset that it's a total rip, but they've added some things. Like, there's you can get like a machete, and if a guy's not wearing a helmet, you can like cut his head off and stuff, which is like crazy. And they have like sticky bombs, so like you can drive up to like a car and like put it on it and then get away from them, and it'll explode. And the explosions are insane. Like the game doesn't look great, but like it doesn't matter. Like, it's got PlayStation 2 type graphics kind of, but like, it's not the graphics that matter. Like, it still makes your heart pump when you're like flying and like exploding cars or like going crazy. And I just made it's kind of a challenging game. And what it does is, what I like about it is not every time through is the same. Like, the levels are randomized. So it'll change up what your goal of each mission is every time. So it's not exactly the same. But it's just fun to like try to make it through and then build XP. And then when you die, you have to start over, but you get to add that XP towards permanent stats that help you get better. So I made it far enough earlier today where, for some reason, a lot of the stuff in it is silly, like arcade type fun, which I appreciate. It doesn't, like, there's a story, but it doesn't take itself seriously, and you don't need to know it at all. But like, this one level started, and it was just like, there was a nuclear meltdown in the area, and like the storm is, I don't know what it said. It happened so quick, like while you were starting, and literally there was like this windstorm, and like giant cars were just like falling out of the sky, and it was as if it was like the apocalypse. It was like raining cars. And it's stupid. It has nothing to do with real life or even the story in the game, as far as I could tell. But it was so much fun because of the mayhem and the craziness. So I've actually been having fun, like, with mindless, and I mean mindless, Road Redemption. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I made it to this level. I never made it before, and it was like really difficult. It was like on top of it was like rooftop jumping, and I was like this,
Ooh.
and I was like, this is cool, but like this seems like this should be at the end of the game. Like this is very difficult. So who knows if I'll keep at it? I get frustrated with things very quickly. And like I said, I'm not taking this seriously. I'm just doing this for like some fun until I sink my teeth into a game that actually, who knows, that's waiting for me, and I'm waiting for it. But yeah, so thank you for listening to that twaddle. RMC, what have you been playing?
Thanks for asking. I am happy to say I completed Me-Side this week. Thank you. Me-Side, if you don't remember, is the game on PC where you are this guy, real life guy, who gets sucked into a video game, and the game is like a virtual, I'm going to say virtual pet, but it's like, it's not a pet. It's like a girl. It's like it's a game where you play with a girl and she's like a virtual girlfriend kind of, but it's like, help me make dinner and help me whatever. You get sucked into the game by the girl. And you find out that the girl is crazy. There's a really interesting story about like how to get out of the game, you need to work your way back to the core of the game. And that means you have to work your way back through the different versions of the game. So games, as you know, nowadays are updated all the time. And in this game, you have to go through all the previous versions of the game. And they show, so every version of the girl, Mita, is a different version because she's from a different version of the game itself. So they all have slightly different personalities and hairstyles, and they act differently. And some of them know that there's weird stuff going on, and some of them don't, and blah, blah, blah. But it's not like an action game. It's basically a walking simulator. But there's like, events that you have to escape and get away from, and some very slight puzzling and everything. But you're there for mostly the story. It's good. I like it. I wasn't as crazy about it as other people were. Like, it's got a really, really high review. And I do like the ideas and the concepts. Like, as far as ideas and concept go, I'm on board with everybody. Execution, mostly I like it, but it wasn't as, I wasn't at the same heights that other people were, but I still very much enjoyed it.
It's no Catherine.
It's no Catherine. That's right. I like Catherine better, but this game is it's definitely out to scare you more. It's a scary game, or that's the genre. So like, if you don't like jump scares or tense moments or things chasing you or dark scenes and odd things happening, like, and you're like, what is that thing, or what's going on here? Like, you're going to spend a lot of the game feeling quite tense. But there's moments, there's also plenty of moments that are like conversation with people and you're okay, and things are safe and all that. But
do they do it like Doki Doki Literature Club, where you yourself as the player are kind of like being messed with in a meta way, like meta reality way, or is it kind of like you are playing as this character who is like just going into the TV?
Not to the degree that Doki Doki does, no, but there are things in it that, like, there are glitches that happen in the game. So it's kind of like Eternal Darkness. Like, you'll see a character walking around and they'll just be like a torso. It's just a torso, like crawling around on the floor.
Gross.
Or like, you'll see, like, there's one really effective one where I'm walking through this virtual apartment in the dark, and the crazy girl is in there somewhere, but you don't know exactly where she is or what's going on. And like, there's one part where I open a door, and way off in the distance, it looked like there were two like pinholes. And I was like, is that something, or is that just a graphical glitch? And like, I got closer, and it looks like there's like this really tall thing staring at you, and all you see are these like little pinhole eyes. And I was like, oh, that's creepy. So how I play these games are, like, I'm not going to let it scare me. So I just run right up to it, and it like vanished. And then I heard a thump, and like I turned around, and there was just like a pair of legs from the main character just like walking around and like walking into walls and falling over, and just all kinds of weird stuff like that. But yeah, the game, no part of the game is like, this is a normal game. Oh, it's not a normal game. The game from the outset is like, weird stuff's going on. So it's like that. But there are 3 endings. I got 2 of the endings, And the third ending would have required me to restart and do a whole bunch of extra stuff. So I was like, I'll just watch the third ending. The endings are very interesting. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's one of those games where I wouldn't be like, I get a certain way around. Like, you got to play this. This is amazing. If somebody asked me about this game, I'd be like, yeah, it's really good. It's interesting. It's worth your time. But I wouldn't be like, you got to check it out. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. It's like, there are things it does really well, but it's a good game. It's a good game. So if somebody asked me about it, I would recommend it, but I wouldn't be over the moon excited about it. But it's interesting. And I watched a YouTube video. I'm very interested in the universe and the lore and the characters. So I watched a YouTube video about like all the Easter eggs that are in the game, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in the game that you won't ever see based on decisions you make and places you go or don't go. And there's all kinds of stuff that the game is doing that you will most likely never see. So I watched it's like a 30-minute compilation of like, so many Easter eggs and things I would have never come across that were really interesting. So everybody's playthrough through this could be really unique depending on where you go and what you do. So I liked it. It was very good. And like I said, played it on PC because that's the only place you can find it right now. So I played that, and then I finally felt mostly normal to the point where I was like, I said to myself, I'm going to start Alan Wake, and I was like, I shouldn't. I should finish Dragon Quest and then go to Alan Wake. So I got back into Dragon Quest, and I made some really good progress, and I had like a major boss fight in the game, and I only lost once. So I got it on the second time, and everybody in my party was alive when we won it too. So I was like really proud of myself, because I've had a few boss fights where it was like one or two characters were left, and it's like the experience you get is divvied up between characters. So it's like somebody gets like 80,000 points. And
I hated that about Final Fantasy VII. Like if someone was dead, they wouldn't get the XP, and you're like,
yeah. But some of the fights were so tough that I was like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah,
like I've had other fights in this game that were way tougher than the fight I did, and I had to go through it multiple times. And when I finally did it, literally one person lived by the skin of their teeth, and I was like,
I'm not going back again.
That's what's happening. I was like, I'm not doing it again. So, and it works out. So my levels between people, it's like, I want to say my characters are like anywhere from 34 to 39 right now. So it's a pretty wide range, but nobody's like really hurting. So, but yeah, this boss fight I did was like a major boss fight as far as storyline goes. And you do it, and the game wants you to think it's the end of the game, but I'm like, I know this isn't the end of the game. It's like everybody celebrates what happens, and you're in like this room, and then something else happens. I'm like, yeah, I knew this was coming.
You've been around the block.
Yeah. I wanted to be happy because I was like, this will be the most hardcore traditional RPG I have ever completed, without a doubt. And even though the game was faking me out, I was like, man, I hope this is really happening, because I just wanted to be over, because I'm so nervous I won't be able to finish it. But then some other asshole shows up, and I'm like, yeah. So I've been doing other things, and it's going well. Like I said, I went through this big cave and all this, whatever. So I'm in what I am for sure is the final stretch of the game, without a doubt. There's no question. I'm in a brand new area that I've never been before. It's smaller to explore. Like I'm going to be at the end. I know that. So I'm very close. I will be very happy when it's over, because I'm very stressed out, because I'm having a hard time.
I get that way with RPGs that are, where you put in a bunch of time and you level up forever, and then you get close to the end. And me personally, there's like a half, I don't want to finish it because I've been doing it for so long. And then there's half like it's getting very difficult, and I don't want to even push through. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you how many times with Final Fantasy VII, I've made it to like the third disc as far as content goes, and I've just kind of been like, I know I've been playing this for 60 hours, but I'll play something else, and that's it. And it's like, why are you doing this? But yeah, that's a big one. I like that you're gonna finish it before you start Alan Wake. Not that Alan Wake is that heavy, but I think if you're going to play multiple games with Alan Wake, you should play like lighter, non-story kind of stuff.
I will appreciate the genre change too, going from like such a traditional hardcore RPG to Alan Wake, which is not an RPG at all.
I'm excited for you.
But like in Dragon Quest, I'm okay fighting regular enemies and enemies in dungeons and all that. Like I'm okay. Some of them might give me a tough fight, but I'm all right with that. I'm doing okay. But there are some bosses where it's a struggle, and it's not that I'm not enjoying it. It's just like in Dragon Quest, you can tell there's no health meter for enemies unless there's something I don't know that you can get. But you can tell when an enemy is getting close to death because their name turns yellow. And then you can tell like they're really on the brink of death because their name turns orange, and the camera angle will change. It'll show like a, Dutch camera angle, and you're like,
cool.
oh, I'm almost there. And with one boss that was giving me a really tough time, I got to that point 3 times and lost. And I was like, I'm right there, and I'm like,
intense.
I know I need like 1 more round or 2 more rounds to get through just to land 1 more hit. And I was like messing with how characters were playing. Like I was in control of everybody. And then I did some party members where I was like, okay, these assholes got to focus on healing and I'll take care of the other stuff. And I got to a point where I was like, everybody's going to play conservatively, except this one mage, he's going to go all out. And if you put him on all out, that means every move, no matter what, he's going to do his strongest attack. And I was like, I'll handle everybody else. I just need this guy to attack as strong as he can every time because he's got my strongest attacks. And I was like, if I was doing it other ways and letting him handle things differently, he would like go to buff somebody else's attack or like throw up shields or something. And yeah, that's good. But every once in a while, I'm like, son of a bitch, if you just did 1 more attack, this would have worked out.
Right.
So I like to do it where I'm in control of everybody. But certain times I'm like, it's better if I focus on 1 or 2 people and let them do their thing. So I switched him to all out attack. And I had a healer focusing on healing, and then I took care of the other 2 people. And that's how I made it through. And everybody lived. I was like, this went the best it could have gone ever. So that was such a success. And now, like, you know, the new big boss comes in and he's like, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm like, you probably are. I'm like, when I get to this guy, it's going to be tough, but we're making it happen. So I am enjoying the game. I'm actually listening to the Super Nintendo soundtrack for the game now because I've never heard it because I've never played it, and hearing it in comparison to the new soundtrack, which is all orchestrated, and it's really cool to hear. It's much like Final Fantasy, you know, like the tunes are very similar. Final Fantasy, the remakes now do a lot more unique takes on the songs, but they're amazing. Yeah. This is much more 1 for 1, just with orchestral instruments, but it's really nice. So it's been pretty crazy going through this RPG. I've been playing it for months now. You guys know that. And I took a break because I wasn't feeling games much at all. But now I'm back in. I'm rejuvenated. I will be very proud when I beat this game because I've never beat an RPG of this traditional old-fashioned nature. And it's really putting the screws to me. So I'll be very proud of myself. And I played a lot of other RPGs now, like you've heard over the last couple of years, and I haven't had anywhere near the trouble with them as I have this. So, and then I'm going to go into, I really want to play Lunar, and the Lunar 1 and 2 collection is coming to Switch. Back in the day with Sega CD, I used to look at Lunar, and because I was a little weeb at the time and I didn't know it, like it had anime cutscenes, and I was like, I want to play this game so bad, but it was an RPG. I was like, I can't. I'm not going to spend, you're a little kid at the time. You got piggy bank money or chore money or birthday money. I'm like, I'm not going to spend $70 on this game that I'm not going to be able to play. And I used to sit there in Toys R Us and like look at the flip thing that they had at Toys R Us and stare at the back because it had like anime cutscenes. And I'm like, oh, this is in a game. I can have this in a game.
Scantily clad ladies?
No, it's just anime. I'm sure.
I can see you at Toys R Us like, oh, there it is. Mom, I'll be right there.
No,
I like that you said you were a little weeb and didn't know it. I think that's
I was 100%. Lunar Sega CD box. I'm gonna see if I can find. Watch, I'll go look at the box and it will have like naked girls on the back. Naked grills. Here's the back of the box. No, like look at this little me. Like here, I'll show it to you, and then I'll show. Like look, anime cutscene. What?
Top left corner.
Top left corner. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Scantily clad lady.
See, this time I didn't even notice it. I'm looking
girl.
at it like this.
A real beauty girl.
Here, you could just take it and look at it. Like it's got a picture of one of the game screens is an anime cutscene in the game, and I'm like, look, this is in the game. So I never ever played it, and I am definitely going to play those games on Switch. I'm so excited.
It probably holds up great.
I'm sure it does
because of those graphics.
Yeah, and they're doing like the remaster has a whole bunch of nice features and everything. But it's an RPG now. I can play it, so I'm pumped. I'm very pumped. But anyway, sometime in the next few weeks, I'll have that finished. The Switch 2 reveal and all that stuff is going to certainly take up a lot of time when it comes to work, but I'll sneak games in there. And then I played Fortnite, as we've been saying, and we've been doing pretty good. This season we're making it happen. We'll win like 2 out of 3 games or 3 out of 4 games, and it's not like we're fighting slouches. We're fighting teams that are putting up a hell of a tough time.
People are getting really good at this season too. Like all the fancy guns get snapped up real early, and there's like a Rift bazooka that people are really used to their.
You saw what people were doing with the Rift gun, where they rift someone away, and then they have the mammoth pistol, and they'll look up in the air and just try and headshot them in the air, and like they're killing people. Like you rip someone away when they're not expecting it, and then you headshot them in the air. That's it. That's it. So yeah, Fortnite's great. Love the bat. Bat has got to be my second favorite item ever. Only the only thing I like better is the hammer. I will forever love that hammer. But the bat and the drill this season, love it. It's a great season. Another great season.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that's that. Let's do questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
They can be about Nintendo video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. Nico Darunia has this week's question. Nico Darunia, thank you for sending me the notifications through the tips email about top stories. I appreciate it. Nico Darunia says, personally, which do you think is the best invention of all time?
Oh.
What do you think is the best invention of all time?
Birth control.
It's a great one. It's a great one.
Gee whiz.
I'm thinking like the refrigerator. Like that's a really important one, right?
Vaccines.
Vaccines. That's a good one, but they don't work. So ivermectin. That's a really good one.
If you're a horse.
So I keep like the oven and the refrigerator. I just keep coming back to electricity in general. If we're saying inventions,
definitely.
A refrigerator is crazy.
If I had to,
to keep food from going bad. Yeah,
that's probably number one. You don't even think about that one.
If you're thinking, like I said, like I could just go electricity. Obviously, that would be number one.
Mars says eyeglasses.
I'm trying to think of it. Eyeglasses is. I mean, look at
God. That must have
a really good one.
I can't imagine not having glasses.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't be driving.
Yeah. What are you guys saying? Eyeglasses, glasses. 2 people said glass. Oh, Mars Bros said it twice. Electricity,
underwear.
No, definitely not.
Electricity and refrigerator. That's what I'm at. I'm sure there's other stuff where I'd be like, oh yeah, that's great. The Switch, Backseat Studios. There you go. The Switch, of course, right there.
Switch. Maybe virtual
microwave.
boy.
See, afternoons, greatest invention of all time. No. Do I love the microwave? Yes. Love the microwave. Definitely. That's a creature comfort that makes things better for having one. I completely agree. So Mom Brain is team anti-microwave until we got a microwave again. And then she was like, oh, yeah,
I'm not
microwave.
anti-microwave. I just didn't really miss.
I got to say, we didn't have one because it broke and I'm too cheap to get a new one. And Mom Brain's like, I don't care because I never use it. And I was like, well, I do use it, but I'll live without it. And then eventually I hit a point where I was like, no, because I found out IKEA has a microwave for what was it, like $60, $70. It's like, that's fine by me. And I love that microwave.
I do too.
It's great.
It's not the most powerful.
Doesn't need to be.
But
I feel so powerful.
It's not like we're cooking a 25-pound turkey in a microwave oven.
That's right. That's right. We never would. Never. So yeah, I was gonna say air fryer is a great one, but it's not greatest of all time, but I do love it. But I gotta say, I was shocked the other day that you cooked that corn dog mozzarella stick in the microwave. I was shocked.
I was going for convenience.
You must have had a real rough day.
They've been rough lately.
That would be sacrilege. You did that, and I was mind blown. Would have never guessed that in a million years. Is that our picks?
RMC
good?
Did say electricity. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm sticking with birth control.
I mean, I would also say the iPhone, but at the same time, you need electricity. You need the internet.
The internet is like a great one. Yeah,
that's like
for all of the.
And I'm just reluctant to say the internet because as great as the internet is, there's that side of it. Yeah. Where it's really exposed how awful humans are. We're the worst fucking things on the planet. Forgive my F word.
I with the internet feel the same way. Like Like I can recognize it as one of the most important and greatest inventions ever, but no, with the fridge, there's no bad side to the fridge. With the internet, there is a bad side. But
After noobs.
the good thing that
Cheese.
that the internet has, at least gives the bad things a run for their money.
Yeah, Jive Turkey Jones.
Look at that turkey.
Bill Cosby game, that
That's
Flash
right.
game.
Tom Cruise. Why would you do this?
You're a real jerk.
You're a real jerk. Penicillin, Tony De La Mancha said. Cheese.
No, the guy.
She's struggling my beef.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, of course, that's great.
Yeah. All right. So the internet.
What's that? The internet deserves to be in there. Yes. All right. Moving on. We also have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know you could join the Patreon
for $1?
Knock on wood, didn't they? Asked a lot of questions, so we're going to do 2 this week, and then we'll take the rest as we go on. Number 1, do you have any thoughts on TV shows with polarizing finales? Shows like Lost, How I Met Your Mother, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones. I'm sure there are others, but those are just what came to mind. So I did not watch Lost or How I Met Your Mother or The Sopranos. I'll stop there because Dude did watch The Sopranos and is a big fan.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the finale?
I actually liked it. I never watched the show when it was airing, so I wasn't watching it like when everybody else was. The ending wasn't spoiled for me, so when I finally did get around to it, I was left with some questions, but I enjoyed it because I got to I really thought about it. Like it was actually a thought-provoking ending for me, and I've had a lot of my personal kind of thoughts about what it means, and I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually ended up really liking it. Lost, I didn't care for the ending too much of Lost. Lost was a wild roller coaster ride. It was strange to me because there were a lot of seasons, and I really enjoyed like the first 2 or 3, and then it just gets real strange. And you know what? I watched it all. I didn't stop watching it, so there was something there for me. But yeah, overall, Lost was very polarizing. I would say a no-go for me on Lost. I wouldn't say it ruined the show because the show was already kind of weird and and it just had a feeling. It had an air to it, at least for me, that the writers didn't even know where it was going. I don't know if that's true, but I almost feel like they didn't realize what a hit they would have, and then they just kind of had to let it fly free from there. But and then as far as Game of Thrones, I hate to say it, but I can't, like you said last week, I can't recommend that show to anybody because as great as those first seasons are, it's just going to end up where it ends up, and boy, is that a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean the finale. I don't like the finale, but I was out on the show before that.
Yeah,
Like
the
second to last
seasons.
season was rough, and then the last season I was just like, "What's going on here?" So it's not even like the finale did it for us. We were already
it's a shame.
before.
It's a shame how far it fell. And yes, I am a big fan of the books. And as soon as the books ran out, they ran out of book material. They kind of lost their grip on the show. And it's a real shame. And I hope, I don't know, who cares? George R. R. Martin, God bless you. I hope you're doing great. I don't blame you for not writing another word. I mean, your fans are the absolute meanest people. It's all people on the internet, so they're going to be mean and horrible, and no one likes to hear that. I just hope that he isn't not writing it because of how the show ended. Like, I hope that he didn't think, oh, the show ended like I hope he wasn't going to end it like that and thought, oh, people hated the way the show ended, I got to change it. Because to be honest, I have a feeling if he wrote it and that was his ending, I have a feeling he could make it work. Not everything, but some of the big things. And I don't know. I hope that's not holding him back, but who cares? I don't want to get up his butt. He's got enough of that. Can you imagine being as old as he is and being like, well, if I write this book, people are going to hate it. And if I don't and then I'm going to die, it's I mean, I don't even know. I feel kind of bad for the guy. I know he's got a lot of success, but I just feel like people are really going after him. And it's why would he even want to release a book? Because you're mad at him that he's not releasing the book. And then when he releases it, you're going to be mad with what you read in the book.
Yeah.
So good Lord, why would he want to finish it? But anyways,
I remember Roseanne's finale being very polarizing, and I watched Roseanne all the way through.
What happens at the end?
You find out like the whole last season was a dream,
and Dan's dead?
Dan died from a heart attack. Like that happens earlier in one of the season before, but
right,
he has the heart attack, but he comes back, and and then you find out. It was a polarizing finale, and I kind of don't like it, but I also do kind of like it because Roseanne in earlier seasons talked about how she wanted to be a writer and was into writing, and like at the end of the show, you find out she was like writing what happened, and it ends with her in her basement, like you see her writing, and then she gets up and like turns off the light from I remember and leaves, and like. Yes, I don't like finding out the last season never happened, but like the sentimentality and the sadness of like her in the basement writing and like the therapeutic nature, like there was something to it. I just hate that it's like, all the episodes you didn't like in the last season were bad because she was writing them. But then like the finale, you're like, I feel bad for you. Like it's really polarizing. And I've always gone back and forth on whether I liked it or not. There are things I liked about it and things I don't.
I didn't care for the way Seinfeld ended. I remember that.
Yes, I remember
vividly.
not liking that. I haven't seen that finale since it first aired.
Me either. So I don't know if I'd appreciate it now. But yeah, at the time, I remember thinking, this is how they're going to end Seinfeld. And like, Seinfeld was like everyone's jam back then.
Yeah.
So
I was going through a list of other shows to see if there's anything coming up that we would be able to talk about, but we've covered all of them. I think we did some good ones, and they were good ones suggested by Knock on Wood. But yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Even if it's a finale I don't like, I enjoy talking about it and playing things out. There's plenty of shows right now where I'm watching and they're so good. And Game of Thrones has made me think it only more, where I'm like, oh, don't sour on me, don't turn bad. I don't blow it with the finale. Like it's funny, Mom Brain was just saw a TikTok. The guy on TikTok who's like the movie and TV show reviewer. He always wears a A24 hat. He's got a really good voice for videos too.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I love that guy. He's great. I really like his opinions, and he's always telling the people be kind in the comments, and he takes a very level head. I love that guy. I think he's great. He just did a video where he talked about solo leveling in anime, and he said he watched Attack on Titan and really liked it, but he's not really an anime guy. And one of his friends was like, watch solo leveling. And he did a TikTok about it because he's like, I think I got to get into anime now, because he loved solo leveling. And it was great to hear him.
He had to get a Crunchyroll subscription to watch it. He's like, so now I'm screwed because I got so much to watch.
Solo leveling is the perfect everyman's anime. Like there's none of the... To be fair, it's not even really an anime. It's in anime style, but it's a Korean show, but it's on Crunchyroll. But anyway, it's a perfect everyman's anime where it doesn't have like the tropes that anime fans usually, or non-anime fans are usually turned off by. And it's got a storyline that's very easy to follow, but it's a very interesting show to me because it's so well done, but it's not like mind-boggling in what it's trying to do. It's a great example for what like a standard story could be. It's engrossing, it's entertaining, it's not hard to follow, it's got hooks in it, like there's mysteries that's going on, but it's not like, Severance is an amazing show, but a lot of the time you're like, what's going on here? What does this mean? What's happening? Like, how's this all going to connect? And that's a lot of fun.
What does it mean?
But there's a lot to be said for a show where you understand everything that's going on and it all makes sense, but it's still got plot points and characters that you care about. That's how I look at Solo Leveling. It's a phenomenal show. And the season 2 finale of Solo Leveling is this weekend. And I just keep thinking about like, man, this show's so good. I hope it holds it together forever how long it goes, because it's one of those shows where I'm like, I got zero complaints about this show right now. It's great. And I've been there with other shows like Game of Thrones. I had no complaints. And other shows along the years where I've been like, this is so good. And then, something happens where you're like, oh no, are things falling apart here? And then becomes a shell of its former self, or it like peters off and you're like, oh, if they just like cut it here, it would have been so much better. So it's Solo Leveling. I was really happy to hear him talk about it and expand awareness. But Solo Leveling is one of the shows in the forefront of my mind where I'm like, keep it together. Like there's nothing that makes me think it's going to go bad at all. Everything's been great, but I like it to that degree where I'm like, it's so good. Don't lose it.
Is it adapting a manga or something? Or?
It's adapting a webtoon, which is basically an online comic. Webtoons are very popular in Korea, and this has blown the doors wide open for other adaptations of webtoons. Like it's millions upon millions upon millions of people are reading this every single
Are
month.
webtoons like generally considered, not cool or
No,
something?
no,
or-
they haven't really taken off around the world. Like they're getting popular here now. They're ginormous in Korea, like huge. And they have a following in Japan. But now that like this show is now people are like, oh, what is this? Let's look
Yeah.
into this. Like it's a comic, it's a comic. Everything's a comic. Like manga is a comic, and webtoons are a comic. It's just the distribution methods. And there's like light novels as well, which are basically regular books with some pictures thrown in. But now everybody's looking into what webtoons can we adapt for an anime, because they're like, oh, this is really good and doing really well. What else is out there?
People
So now
might
like
actually watch them now.
yeah, this season, this upcoming anime season, there's like I want to say there's like 6 or 7 webtoons that are being adapted. But Solo Leveling, I know I've mentioned it to you before. Mom Brain will attest, I've been really trying not to recommend anybody anything, especially to the degree that I do, because I know I'm overbearing with it. So I've been really like, I've told Mom Brain separately, I'm like, it's eating me alive because I want to talk to everybody about everything, and I'm trying not to do that. And I've been on the fence a whole bunch of times about telling you give Solo Leveling a try. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, I've watched a bunch of stuff you told me to watch.
No, you're one of the ones that puts up
and
with me
I've
more
liked
than anybody else.
I've liked most of it. I can't even think of anything I haven't really liked that I watched.
Solo
other
Leveling.
Than, well, one thing.
I think as far as that, Solo Leveling has nothing in relation to it. Solo Leveling, you will 100% understand everything that's going on.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
It's very. I haven't watched Reacher, but from my understanding of Reacher, it's a very cut and dry kind of show, and you know what you're getting from it.
Definitely.
Solo Leveling is not the same style of show, but Solo Leveling is a very cut and dry show. You know what you're getting from it. It's just really fun to watch. It's like, and you know what's also really good about it? Music is phenomenal and really heightens the experience. The music is really good. It's also a really nicely drawn show. They put a lot into the budget, you can tell. And the dub is excellent. The lead guy doing the dub was like, I know how seriously the lead in Japan is taking the dub. Like the voice actor is really giving it his all. And he's like, I want to do that. He's like, I want to pay respect to the show or the series in general, and to the voice actor that I'm taking the role for here in America. And I follow him on TikTok. He does such a good job. And man, is he giving it his all. If people are like, anybody could do voice acting, I'd show them this guy. The man has literally given performances that are so hard on him that he's like coughed up blood from recording his lines.
Oh, wow.
Like he's like taken it to the upper limit, and like he's amazing. But the dub in general is good. But this guy, holy crap, is he good. And he's in other shows that I watch. You didn't get to it. He's a guy in Don, and you would never know it's the same guy. The voices are completely different, and he's playing a comedic character in Don, and he's phenomenal in that too. The guy's awesome. It would be great if I could remember his name, but I can't. But anyway, yeah, so let's talk about finales that are divisive or whatever the word was. Polarizing. Yeah, they come up, and in some ways they make the show live on even longer, because people forever are like, they'll never forget the show because it went so poorly or whatever.
Well, Twin Peaks has become what it's become, and it's fantastic. And thank God he had, the chance to do the return. But if they had just let him do, I often wonder if they just let him like do what he wanted to do from the beginning, I wonder how it would have turned out. Because it like for me,
turned out like the return.
Yeah, probably. I mean, for me, the first like half of that first season is like it's like some of the greatest television, and you can actually tell like when he like stopped being involved in it, and like I don't know, I think about that a lot. But again, luckily the return is so great, even though it's out there.
The fact that Twin Peaks at all made it on TV at the time that it was on is mind blowing to me. I cannot believe that happened. I really can't. It's one of the most confusing TV things I've ever seen, and I'm happy it happened. But I just can't imagine the executives and everybody signing off on that. And like at that time of all times, like now that show, no problem. Like any network or most streaming networks would take that show. But back then, regular terrestrial TV, network television, like being like, yeah, we'll take Twin Peaks. Yeah, people will watch it. And they were right. People watched it until, they did what they did. But It's just crazy to me. Question 2. Which do you prefer? Traditionally human names for pets or more unconventional names for pets?
That's a great question.
I've never named a pet a traditional human name. However,
Frank.
when applied correctly,
It's funny.
they're
It's great.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could go either. Yeah, I'll take
Yeah,
weird names or
Frank.
human names. They both make
Cat
me
named
laugh.
Frank.
Yeah, cat named Frank would be great.
Yeah.
I could go either way. I'm not one more than the other. It's just I need to hear the name before I make the decision because there'd be regular human names where I'd be like, nah, not for a pet. And,
Missy.
you know,
for a
crazy
dog.
made up names where I'd be like, nah, I don't like that for a pet.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like both. I think human names are very, very funny, and I mostly like them. And I like cute names that aren't really names that you'd have only for a dog or a cat. And I think I like that kind of stuff too. My brother is a big fan of human names, and he'll never get a dog, but if he were to ever have a dog, he says he wants to name it Steven, and I think that's really funny.
I can get behind
I think
that.
a dog named
formal too.
and not Steve,
Steven.
not
Yeah.
Steve, or he wants it to be Steven, and I think that's just really
Just
funny.
the idea of
With a
opening
P or a PH.
I think with a PH,
Yeah.
but I
Just
never
the-
have.
idea of like opening up your front door and like yelling, Steven, get back here. Steven, what are you doing? Thank you for the questions. Knock on wood. All right, Mom Brain, it is that time. Let's do some music.
Okay.
I got music. You want to hear it?
You wanna hear it?
Oh. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where do I send that music?
Goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I'll send it there.
Be about or please put music in the title to help out your local Mom Brain.
Help.
He's right.
Songs.
Okay.
Wins.
Here we go. Please excuse me. Pringles, tuna melt, pickles. all
Pringles
dog
is
names.
a great name. Pringles is
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
name.
Tuna melt is pretty nice. This song comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks. I got nothing.
So sorry.
Nope. I got nothing at all.
I don't know.
I'm going to take a fat L on this one.
It was Sakura Samurai, Art of the Sword
It's not even ringing any bells for me.
on the 3DS.
Man, I do not.
Oh.
This one's from Geku Kitsune.
This is really funny. Can you turn it up more? So I can tell, this is what we were talking about before the podcast. I can tell from the motifs that this is a Dragon Quest game, but I have
Yes.
no idea what. It's Game Boy. Game Boy Color?
There's a pigeon outside, and I put a dove. Ironic.
It was like a spin-off or something. What's the spin-off? Joker?
No.
Monster?
Yeah, Dragon Warrior Monsters.
There
which
you
is
go.
known
Yeah,
as
before
Dragon
they even
Quest.
changed the name. Yeah, it used to be Dragon Warrior here.
That's pretty good, man.
This one comes from Genetic Repo Man.
Another one I got nothing on.
Yeah, I know it's not right. Code Veronica.
No.
I have no idea.
Sounds like something that would be in an RPG, but that, my
Yeah, I
knowledge
believe it
is
is.
terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I would like all I can tell you is it's not Final Fantasy, it's not Dragon Quest. So that leaves every other RPG in the world. I got nothing.
Kingdom Hearts?
No. Oh, the dove outside our window is a mourning dove, by the way. I can hear it. There it goes. The game is Yeez
Ease
8
Ease 8
Lacrimosa
Oh,
of
the
Dana.
Kanye West game? That's not good.
YS. Yes.
This one comes from Super Duper Pooper Scooper.
Why do these sound such low quality? Okay. This is GBA.
Sure is.
This is, speaking motifs, rare.
THQ.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's Banjo. Pilot.
Yes.
Yeah, it's rare.
Great job. Here's one from Nico Darunia.
I know this. Why do I know this? Oh, this is Tetris 99.
That's correct.
I haven't played that in a while, but I did play a lot of it.
So that other game, the game that was previous, the Banjo game, what was that for? What system was
GBA.
that? There was like a Banjo-Kazooie game?
It was like a. I to tell you the truth, I don't even remember if it released. It was like you were in an airplane.
Well, that would
I'm
make
gonna
sense.
look it up.
So you never, there's a Banjo game that you never played.
Yeah. I think trust me, I think about this when I go to sleep at night. Banjo Pilot. Let me see. Banjo Pilot. Yeah, kart racing game for the GBA.
More carts.
You ready for me to hit you with the next one?
Sure.
It comes from Spaniel 53.
Turn it up. Yep. This is Sea of Stars.
It is.
Man, 1 week after Kirby was talking about it.
It looks like a really pretty game.
It's got gorgeous pixel art, yeah. And it's fake pixel art. Everything is actually 3D and polygonal, but it's made to look exactly like sprites, so you would never know it's a 3D game.
Kirby didn't say he was playing it, did he? I guess
He said he was playing the Messenger.
Oh, that's right.
This
Same
one comes
composer.
from Jess I.
Well, just based on the genre, I'll say it's another RPG, so I'm out. So RPG?
I think so.
I got no idea.
I don't even want to ask system because I feel like it would be unfair. Oh, wait a minute. Can you rewind like 10 seconds? Can you rewind like 20 seconds? Can you rewind like the whole thing? Perfect. This is what's that goddamn Project Rainfall game? This is The Last Story.
That's correct.
Man, only because I know the theme song to that game. This is
Very
a
pretty.
different version. That's crazy.
This song is from Autumnal Blake.
Are people? This has to be another RPG. What the hell's going on today?
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure you played it.
Oh. Can't even place what system it is. Could be really good Super Nintendo. Well, now I would like to say it's not an RPG, and I would like to say it's definitely Japanese.
Sure. Yeah.
I still don't know.
Yeah. Well, you played it.
You're sure I played it?
Oh, yeah.
I got nothing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Giving up?
It was 999.
Oh, I played some of it. I never finished it.
Wow.
You're right.
Oh,
I got it back there. Kirby played that one.
No.
Kirby.
This one's from Wired.
This is so low quality. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's, yeah. I did not like this soundtrack. This is Mad World.
It is.
Did not like the soundtrack. Most of it, anyway.
The last song for the week comes from our pal Mikey3319. And if anybody's listening out there and feels in the mood, let's send them a little extra love out there in the universe this week.
Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Dare I guess RPG again?
I don't know.
That's the man. I love that Super Nintendo sound. This has to be an RPG. Whoever this is, they knew what they were doing on the Super Nintendo. That's high quality stuff.
This isn't a Final Fantasy game?
No.
You know if it's an RPG.
I think so. I think it's a JRPG.
Yeah, they're all the same.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think so.
That, I don't know if I'm crazy, but that sounds like a theme to me, like a play on a theme that I'm familiar with, but I don't know what it is. I'm going to bow out again.
I don't know.
You stumped him. It's Lufia.
Well, that's an RPG, yeah.
What the
Super
heck?
Nintendo, man, never played it. I would like to go back to it someday. I don't even know where you can get Lufia now. 5 out of 10.
6 out of 9.
I guess I'll take it.
Rough.
What are you going to do? My RPG history is coming back to hurt me this time. Really, really screwed me over.
Well,
And unfortunately, that's it.
well, it's not it, but
Oh.
you're still going to say, unfortunately, there's something else because Deux Views,
Ooh.
it's never news. Rumor of the week with Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen,
It was starring.
we do views every time the podcast ends, and those views include rumors. I've got spiders and I've got flies, and they go all over the internet world and the video game world, and they find stuff that you're just not going to find on GoNintendo.com. Sorry.
Or on the Nintendo app.
Or anywhere.
Nintendo Today. Thank you.
So without further ado, actually there's one more ado. Actually, there's
Mhm.
one more ado further. It usually Deux Views is all rumor based. Basically, the spiders and the flies bring me these rumors. They're not confirmed, but I've got something special for today. It says right here that this rumor is true.
Wow.
For once, we're bringing groundbreaking news right to you.
Holy crap.
From Deux. Here's the view. So, Switch 2, we've heard of it. We've all heard of it by now. It's actually not called Switch 2 anymore. It's going to be called Switch U because Nintendo wants to make up for their failures with Wii U. And they were like, what better way to do that than by bringing everyone's brain back?
Yeah, Nintendo
to the
is
Wii U.
famous for never letting a good idea go. So
Exactly right.
They failed the first time. They're like, hi, Stevie. Good to see you.
So that means that the Mariners have to get all new patches
Oh,
for their
no.
Yep, all that. They've got to recall all the Switch 2s that have
Did you
Switch
hear
2
if
on
they're
it.
making the patches bigger on their sleeves this time?
They are going to make them bigger. In fact, the whole jersey is going to be made out of a patch now. And the Seattle Mariners are also changing their name to the Seattle Switch U's.
Oh, boy, not just changing it completely. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, the patch is that big.
It's true.
And then this was actually also part of the news here. So Switch U is going to launch with a long-awaited sequel of a game that we've all loved and knew back in the day.
Mole Mania.
So Urban Champion Beyond is coming to the Switch U,
where your fighters have psychic powers.
And and all that stuff is true. So so move over April 2nd, Wednesday. You got everything you need to know right now.
You know, I'm just gonna say this. I've had enough urban champions. How about rural champions? Huh?
Why didn't they think of that?
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mom Brain, this picture for Deux Views with I love the shirts on the people. They're
Thank
so
you.
good. The spider shirt and the fly shirt.
It's not a new one. I made it.
No, I know. I'm aware. Oh, Charles Martinet, very upset that he's not part of this week's very true story, but I have a feeling he'll be back.
Yeah, Charles Martinet and Reggie are cooking up something real good for next week's story. Let me tell you.
In the bedroom, I've heard. All right, everybody. That's all we got for today. God, next week's podcast, we're going to have so much to talk about. Hopefully good things, but It's going to be a whole new world. We're going to have all these new games to talk about. We're going to have all this new information. There's so much we're going to talk about. There's so much that we don't know right now that's going to come flooding at us on Wednesday. Come to GoNintendo and we'll
GoNintendo
and we'll keep you updated. I'll
Enjoy
be
your ignorance while it lasts.
working my fingers to the bone, as is everybody else on the staff. So
And I'm going to be working my bone into his fingers.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right, that's that. Oh my God, this week is going to be so bad. Yes, Marsboro, we watched the Alf movie for movie night here. With lots of courtroom scenes with Alf, and yep, I remember it. I do remember it. I think it's time for a new Alf movie, but that's just me.
Yeah, it came out around the time, I want to say, as like the OJ trial, because I remember Alf being dressed up like a judge, and like they tried to get the gavel away from him, and they're like, and he won't like let him have it, and they're like, "Who do you think you are?" And he's like, "Judge Ito."
Yep.
And I guess that's a joke.
And I wrote it, and I guess that's a joke. That's Alf's whole thing. I guess that's a joke. Yeah. Listen, Alf doesn't make apologies for anybody. He is fully Alf all the time. He's not apologetic about who he is.
How they roll on them.
And he has his finger on the pulse of
But
pop
that's
culture.
not how they roll on Melmac. Alf was the outcast on Melmac.
Right.
They all didn't like him there.
Man.
And then he came to Earth, and nobody liked it.
Yeah, believe it or not, on Melmac, none of them ate cats except for Alf.
It's just a weird Alf thing.
That's why he had to leave.
That's right. They ate too many house pets, and they're like, Alf, come on, man. You can't do this.
We told you.
That's
this
right.
Is what we're gonna do, Alf. But
You got it, Mars Pro. Hi, Freddie Pro. Oh, what's movie night like? Snacks and commentary? Freddie Pro, movie night is like us just making fun of whatever we're watching. And yeah, there might be snacks out, but that's not part of it. It's just us making fun of
It's
whatever
like
we're watching.
a poor man's Mystery Science Theater 3000, I
Yes.
guess.
We didn't watch movies last time. We watched 2 episodes of Mrs. Columbo.
and they were
It's the show that keeps on giving as
Yeah,
far as movie
yeah,
night goes.
yeah.
I mean, it's insane how
We only got
ridiculous some of
a
this
couple
stuff
more
is.
episodes left, and then we're out of those. I don't know where we go.
shoot.
We gotta I really think we should do like Walker Texas Ranger episodes or something like that. I think those would be gold mines for making
I mean,
fun
just the little
Dr. Slate
clips
Medicine
that
Woman.
I've heard from
of. Walker
that.
told me I have AIDS.
Yeah, that's what's his name too, Haley Joel Osment.
It
wasn't
is, yeah. All right, everybody, that's all we got. 4 more days, people, and then we'll know it all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And we're